All right, y'all, we give praise, esteem, and honor to the living Elohim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. And we're going to pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. For you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accuse you, even Mr. whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote it. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Let us Baruch Shabbat. Let it be. Let's get this Proverbs 13 and 12. Hope deferred make the heart sick, but when the desire come, it is as a tree of life. Proverbs 27 and 18. Shalom, Jay. Whoso keep the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof. Shalom, Misha. So he that waits on his master shall be honored. Now, I talked to y'all a little bit on Wednesday about some things with the older women and this, that, there, and the third. And, you know, it's not the first time we done talked about it. Probably ain't going to be the last. You know what I'm talking about? But let me go ahead and get you with this 1 Timothy 5 while it's fresh on my mind. And then we're going to move on from that particular matter. You know what I'm talking about? And it's just in regards to conduct, how things supposed to be, the directive, how things the word can stop from being blasphemed, and things of that nature. 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 1. Listen to what he say.
Rebuke not an elder, but entreat as a father, the younger men as brethren.
See, listen, right? And the first thing he tell you is, tell him what rebuke mean, man. See, hold on. Before you do that, give me 1 Timothy chapter 3, man. In 1 Timothy chapter 3, man, tell me about what verse 5 say, man. Let me set the stage, man. Let me do that.
Say, for if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of Elohim?
Listen, that man said he can't rule his own house. How he going to rule the house of God? Now, why is that important? Hebrew chapter 3 and verse 1.
Wherefore, Kadash brethren, partakers of Shamayim, the calling of Shamayim, consider the apostle and high priest of our profession, Hamashiach Yahushua, who was faithful to him that appointed him, and also Moses, and all his house.
And all his what?
All his house.
Go ahead.
For this was counted worthy of more esteem than Moses, inasmuch as he who have builded the house have more honor than the house. For every house is built by some, but he that built all things, Elohim.
Now, I just want to set that up because it said Mashiach is the head of the house. So a man who is over a congregation would be as the head of the house or as a father in the household. Now, let me ask you this question. How many of you niggas gonna run up on your daddy and check him like he's just a random nigga in the street? You know what I'm talking about? See, what we get caught up at is, like I said, is doing things out of order, which is why a lot of people don't want a congregation. I heard a lady, she was talking about this today. And I'm going to go ahead and get it for you. 1 Corinthians 5 and 1, man. You know what I'm saying? And they were talking about a multitude of things, but a lot of things could be handled if you just look and see how it pertains to the law. Joanne, calm down. Calm it down. No, I'm not smiling, cheesing, or playing with you. It's not the time, nor the place. 1 Timothy 5 and 1. Shalom, Brother Marcus. Amen.
It is reported commonly fornication among you, and such fornication as is not so much as named among the Gentiles, that one should have his father's wife.
This man done laid with his daddy's wife, his mama. Let me tell y'all this here too, because I've seen people arguing about this text-wise. Of course, scripture-wise. Do y'all know by definition what a step-parent is? Because it's not what we call it now. Do y'all know by definition what it is? Does anybody happen to know by definition what it is? Shalom, Brother Ellis. Well, if you don't know by definition what it is, you can look it up for yourself. Somebody who would be considered a step-parent would be somebody who was take on a child whose parent had died. You know what I'm talking about? So if you were a stepmother, that means that child's mother had died, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Now it's taking on a different connotation. So I was having a conversation with a dude because they were talking about Lori Harvey for whatever reason. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm like, who cares what that woman do with her vagina? That's her business. It seems like dudes be so pressed by she going from man to man. Well, it doesn't matter because you're not going to be around her. And if you are any man of any honor, if you know she's going from man to man, then you know she's not a wife. And you know why she's not a wife? Because clearly she can't keep a man. Do you know what I'm talking about? Doesn't even matter. And then allegedly, if she dealt with Puffy and her son, who would want to be with a woman who would mess with a man and his son? You know what I'm talking about? That's not a woman you marry. I don't care how good she look. See, most dudes don't care because you care about how a woman look. Who cares? Who cares how good she look? Is that all you enamored with? Dudes say it don't matter, she got money. So that's all you care about because she got some money? She gonna have to bring some money if she hoeing like that. And like I told you, when we talk about hoeing, man, we ain't talking about what y'all consider hoeing. Man, once you done been past, shalom, brother Shaul, once you done got past 2 men, you done hoe. I don't care what it is, man. Those are harsh realities of life. You know what I'm talking about? We don't like them harsh realities of life because you know why we don't like those harsh realities of life? Because we ain't changed the mindset that caused us to be in that position. See, if you already know you done changed that mindset, you have to accept it. Boy, I would live in fire. Praise Yahuwah for mercy. I ought to be dead. But if you still get in your feelings and you get carnal about it, it's because your mind is still the same, because there's still an underlying desire to participate in said activities. There's just not an opportunity for you to execute it the way you believe. You won't get caught by the people who you don't want to see you live in silence. That's all. You know what I'm talking about? Indeed, outward beauty does fade as a flower, but ain't nobody gonna tell no story. Don't nobody want to roll over and look at no ugly woman. I just seen a reel where a man say he went to his phone and found that she was telling her best friends that he was ugly. I was like, damn. If you thought he was ugly, why did you marry him? Then you gonna tell other people he ugly and then get mad at him because he told me, well, that's what you get for going through my phone. Not the fact that you going around here telling people that your husband ugly. I say, damn, that's messed up. That's how you feel, baby. That's how you feel. You know what I'm talking about? And I would have told her, well, you can get your ugly behind out of my house because I'd be damned if I'm ugly, find a pretty nigga to take care of you. She might have did. She didn't need to share it. Yeah, he went in her phone and found in group chat that she was telling all her friends how ugly he is. And that she been married to this man. It's not like they just got married. They're very tough. That's tougher than some overdone steak, and she got to get out. That's right, Darren said that disrespect. My husband surely is ugly, girl. God, leave that nigga ugly. So that means you didn't marry him because you found him attractive. That means you don't even like him. I just seen a woman say that today. Men don't like women today. I get tired of women saying like, what the hell does that mean? You don't like a woman. You want me to interact with you like your homegirls? Or you only like women for sex? Well, what else he supposed to like you for? Because most of you don't have award-winning personalities. You know what I'm talking about? Most of you selfish as hell and dumb as a box of rocks. And not dumb as forth as you lack intelligence, but dumb as forth as life is concerned. You know what I'm talking about? Then I seen another reel that was hilarious to me. The lady say, how come men can go play basketball with a nigga and say you friends? She talking about, you don't know that man. You don't even know his mama. I'd be like, why I need to know a nigga mama for him to be my friend? And the brother brought up a strong point, the difference between men and women. Women like to be all up in people's personal business. And then you like to share people's personal business. And then y'all fall out because you was nosy sharing other people's personal business. See, men can meet each other and not know nothing about his personal life because it means absolutely nothing to me because it has nothing to do with me. People like, he could be home beating on his wife. I don't know if he home beating on his wife, but if I find out he beating on his wife, I'm not gonna fool with the nigga no more. You know what I'm talking about? But this is what I do know. When I see him on Sunday, that nigga give me 12 boys, and that's all I care about. You know what I'm talking about? When I see him in the gym, I speak to him. And if I see him in public, I say, hey, man, what's going on? Because a lot of women don't know men build kinship in a different fashion. God bless Brother Langford if I didn't say that already. Men build it. Look here, man. When you done something with a group of men and it's been successful, like when you see dudes say they got a bond forever because they won a championship or this, that, there, and the third, it's different. And it's funny because you always hear women say they ain't got no female friends. And you know why you ain't got, and that's why he always want to be out with his boys because you ain't got no friends. And you know why you ain't got no friends? Because you're too goddamn nosy and you talk too much. I'm leading to that because we about to read that in that 1 Timothy about being a busybody. That's why I mentioned it. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's the problem. That's what the problem is. Then when I mess with, I ain't never asked this man about his personal business. So how long you known your baby mama? And this, that, and the third, ain't none of my business, man. If that man want to tell me that, he'll tell me. Other than that, I'm not asking that man all them questions. You know what I'm saying? You may not be like that, but the mass majority of women are. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna say half and half, boy, because I done met more women who are like that than women who ain't.
Maybe I'm just opposite. I've met more women who are not like that.
Oh man, the overwhelming majority of women are very nosy. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I've met people like that.
Very nosy. Jessica said, "You not lying." Yeah, overwhelming amount of women are very nosy. You know what I'm talking about? And it's only nosy for the purpose of telling somebody else personal business to somebody that ain't got nothing to do.
I've run into people like that. I'm not saying that I haven't. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I can't make. Hey, that might be the people who you're gonna develop the kinship with.
I'm not saying maybe that's it. Maybe the one protecting me.
Oh, but because the overwhelming, Shalom East, man, the overwhelming majority of women are like that.
Because I feel that way. Like when it comes down to people in general, if you're not gonna tell me, I'm not gonna know. Like if it comes up, then it comes.
Oh yeah, I'm not asking nobody about their personal business.
But yeah, that's what I'm not feeling. Like you said with City, that's a good example. Shoot, if I don't know about you, that means you have to tell me.
It's not my business.
Me, then you ain't want me to know.
Yeah, I told you I live my whole life like that. If you wanted me to know, you'd tell me.
Absolutely.
If you don't tell me, that means you don't want me to know. And I'm not finna go on a doggone safari and excursion to find it out. I'm definitely not finna ask you a bunch of probing questions. Now I feel like you the police. Why are you asking me all these goddamn questions? You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Why do you feel the need to know all these things about nigga? Who is you? I'm gonna be like that nigga in training. This nigga's the feds. You know what I'm saying? I just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to know. I don't want to know because it doesn't pertain to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel the need to seek out things that don't pertain to me. That doesn't mean that I'm selfish or uncaring. That means it's not my business. Shalom, Brother Marvin, man. Yeah, he say if they know their business, some women will find something to gossip about. You know what I'm saying? You ain't lying. He ain't lying. And that's where it come in at, because I know some people be like, men gossip too, and a lot of men do. And them niggas kind of gay. You know what I'm talking about? But at the same token, I also say that sometimes they don't be that men gossip. They speaking on things that they've experienced. See, you can't gossip if you experienced it firsthand. If you saw it, you were a part of it, then you're not gossiping. You're speaking on something that you were involved in or you're aware of. Gossiping is when you speak on things that you have no knowledge of. You know what I'm talking about? You really don't know. You're going by what somebody told you. You know what I'm talking about? That's different. You know what I'm saying? Most men ain't sharing nobody personal business unless it's something positive, or just be like, damn, bro, got in a car accident the other day. For real? That's messed up. You know what I'm talking about? Oh yeah, you know, such and such, man, they finna have, bro, finna have his baby in a couple of days, man. This old lady do such and such. You know what I'm saying? Or it might be some junk like, hey man, if you see bro, man, be easy, man, this old lady cheated on him. Nigga ain't going into no detail. Nigga just let him know. It's the same token that if you down with a dude and you hear somebody talking about doing something negative to him, you ain't gonna go into no details, but you gonna let him know, like, hey, bro, check this out. You might want to watch that nigga. What you do with that after that, that's on him. Like I tried to be in a situation. Nigga said you said this, and I tell him straight him down. Hey man, if you want to know what I said, go talk to that nigga. Or I'd be like, hey man, this nigga talking reckless about you, boy. If you want to know what he said, go talk to him about it. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna tell you what he said. You go talk to him and find out what he said. Cause nigga ain't finna pull me into no nonsense. Nah, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll tell you the truth. Hey, boy, nigga selling out about you, boy, you might want to watch it. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. You might want to watch it. Now that's another thing too. You can't be upset if you share your personal information with people randomly all over the place and then wondering how people know your personal business because you talk too much. Yeah, you talk too much. If you don't want people to know your personal, that's so people can play victim. You know what I'm saying? You see, there has to come a point where you get to a certain point in age in life that you know why people doing what it is that they do. You know what I'm saying? Because if I tell you about something that I got going on, that means I don't give a damn who you told, because I told you. So if you be like, oh yeah, man, bro, got this going on. All right. Now, if you told this nigga that I got that going on, and ain't nobody finna come help, I don't know what the hell you shared it for. Because you know what I'm talking about? Because I don't give a damn if you told a nigga. Because if I told you, that means I'm not ashamed of what it is that's going on. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, this is what it is, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? This is what I got going on. And hey, we got to make it happen like this here. And it's simple as that. Jay say, shoot. She said, I don't care. I'm a loner by choice for a reason. I'll let you know what I want you to know. And if you tell me something, I most likely forget or keep it to myself. Now, I'm not necessarily a loner per se. You know what I'm talking about? I don't mind being around people, but sometimes I get caught in what I'm doing. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna stay to myself. You know what I'm saying? But I can be around people. It ain't no big deal. You know what I'm talking about? But your personal business, though, especially in the position I'm in, you tell me that for a reason. You know what I'm talking about? And that's for counsel and edification. Or maybe you just felt like you needed to get that off your chest. That don't need to go to nobody else after that. You know what I'm talking about? Because that ain't none of their business unless they was a part of it. You know what I'm talking about? Outside of that, yeah, that junk game, man, that's female activity. I told you Wednesday, y'all grown men, you ain't got no business doing that. You ain't got no business sharing your homeboy business, especially not to your old lady. Stop it. Stop it. Don't do it. Get some help. That's what Michael Jordan said. Stop it. Get some help. You know what I'm saying? All jokes aside, though, like I said, we get into that. That's when you start traveling into busybody territory. When you know more about what other people got going on versus what you need to be doing, you ain't handling your business properly. You know what I'm talking about? But come on with it. Where I got you at? Tell them what rebuke means. And then entreat. We in 1 Timothy 5:1. Let me get the ball rolling, man.
Rebuke is...
Hold on. Let me see what he said. Honestly, for me, if I say something to somebody that's personal or not, I expect that person to keep. I mean, indeed, because we men, so we have that level of expectation. You know what I'm talking about?
That's at a placeholder.
I mean, most people would, but I mean...
I'm realistic about
But most men have that reasonable expectation that if I told you that, then I told you that with the confidence that would remain between us. You know what I'm talking about? And that's just what that is. You know what I'm saying? I'm more on like what Jay said. Once you told me what you had to say, I'm usually gonna forget, and not forget like it's falling out of my mind, but forget as fast. I done filed that away on that's how I got to move when it comes to certain things, or understanding your mental state, how you deal with it, and that's the end of it. It's not gonna be something like I'm thinking about it all the time because I got to tell somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's more so okay, this is why you might do this or do that or do this or do that. I understand. And now that junk out my brain. You know what I'm saying? Now it's filed on. This is how you interact with this person. And that's not to say that interact with them in a negative way. You know what I'm talking about? It's for understanding where they at in life based off what they experience. Everybody's experiences is not the same. So everybody's experiences shape who they are, how they think, and how they behave. You know what I'm talking about? So when you know that, then you'll be able to have a see, most men understand that to be able to have a smoother interaction with their friends. You know what I'm saying? Plus, men have smoother interaction with their friends because they don't delve into people's personal business. You know what I'm saying? So the likelihood of men falling out from divulging people's personal business is a lot smaller because most men are only going to divulge their personal business to men that they trust. You know what I'm talking about? Who they done been through the fire with things in life. Shalom, Mother Shalom. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. I just found it funny because that lady was upset with the niggas. How is that your friend? And you only play ball with him 2-3 times a week. Because I see him 2 times. I mean, men can be friends with dudes and don't even know a nigga name. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't even remember. I done been stopped by the police and they be like, how is that your friend and you don't know his name? Because I never asked. You know what I'm saying? Like, he told me his name was such and such. I'm not going to ask this nigga what his government name is. If he wanted me to know his government name, he would have told me. I didn't ask. If he said, yeah, man, they call me Billy Bob, but this nigga name is James. I don't know this nigga name is James. I don't care if his name is James. He can't call this nigga Billy. Look at, man, there's people who know me by boss. They don't even know my name unless they went to school with me. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, when I went to jail in 2004, man, Rondisha Marie was like, they told her, you don't know his name? They said, how's that your people? And she don't know your name. I said, she never asked. And he was stuck. He said, what you mean? I say, she never asked, bro. You think I'm going to volunteer my government name to a nigga?
Shannon Sharp went back to his alma mater for homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
And some dude he played football with, they said his real name. He said, that's the first time I've heard your government name. I've been knowing you 30 years, boy. I know you Bucky.
Yeah, I don't know this nigga name. Nigga been sat down with you, ate dinner with you, all type of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know this nigga name. Like straight up, I don't know this nigga name. I know your kids and all. I don't know this nigga name. And then I never asked. Shoot, clearly he didn't want me to know his name. He would have told. Let me see. Jessica said, I grew up with all female cousins. And that has made me not want any female friends because they talk too much. It's not that female friends don't talk too much. It's that your cousin talk too much. You know what I'm saying? You got to find women who don't talk too much. So a woman who got something going on, she ain't got time to talk too much. You know what I'm talking about? That's why people say, that's why when you hear niggas talking about the women tell me, I didn't want to stay at home. No, she needs something to do. Because a woman who ain't got something to do, she going to cause some trouble. She bored. You know what I'm talking about? See, the book finna tell you that. All I'm doing is I'm just giving you real life things that most of y'all didn't experience. So when we read it out the text, you'll be like, damn, the Lord knows. You know what I'm talking about? Tell them what rebuke means, man.
Yes, epiplaso, that was to strike upon, to beat upon, to chastise with words.
That man said you ain't supposed to be chastising no elder with no words. That's not your place. That's not your job. That's not your position. You wrong.
And then the treat is parakaleo, that's to call to one side, to call for something, to address, to speak to admonish, to exhort, to beg, to entreat.
That means you step to him in a respectable fashion and you say what you got to say. You don't step back and chastise no elder. What's wrong with you? Bruce think you could do that. That's because you don't love your dad. You know what I'm talking about? Come on with it, man. He said the younger man is what?
That's brethren.
That means if it's a younger man and he out of pocket, treat him like you treat your brother. Don't talk to him like no nigga in the street. And that's also he telling you that if you the elder, then you speak to the younger men like, bro. See, there's a difference, right? How things get set up. See, I'm older than most of y'all, but I ain't that much older than y'all. So I couldn't look at you and be like, you're my son. Like how some preachers do. I have to look at you, you my brother. I'm just older than you. At the bare minimum, uncle. But you know what I'm saying? But nah, we don't want to do that. You know what I'm talking about? Because you know niggas say that because the age of me. But in reality, I'm about 10 years older than most of y'all, maybe a shade under 10. You know what I'm talking about? So you got to treat them like you treat your younger brother. Come on with it, man.
Say the elder woman as mother.
So that means if it's an elder woman in the congregation, you're supposed to treat her like you treat your mama.
The young,
you know what I mean? And when I say that, that's just not for the men, that's for the women too. And the younger women is what?
As sisters.
With all what?
Purity.
That means you're supposed to interact with the women in an assembly like that's your sister. Now, if you deal with your sister in a foul fashion, that means there's something wrong with you and your family. That means your family was out of pocket. You need to relearn some things. You got some wrong education. Tell them what purity means, man. Go ahead, Muffin. Come get you some of that sweet bread.
That's hagnia, that's purity, sinlessness of life.
He said purity, sinlessness. He said you're supposed to deal with him in a godly fashion. Come on with it, man. Honor the who?
Widows.
That are widows in what?
Indeed.
That are widows in what?
Indeed.
He said, but if any widow have what?
Children or nephews.
Pause. Guess what nephews mean here? It definitely don't mean nephews. Tell them what nephews mean there, because it ain't nephews. It ain't your uncle's son, your auntie's daughter. What is a nephew? Or a son, you know what I mean. Shoot, that nigga might be one of them different niggas.
That's sprung from one that's born, begotten, a son, a daughter, an offspring, children, descendants, grandchildren.
Grandchildren, more specifically. So what he's telling you is if any widow have children or grandchildren, let them show honor at the house. So if a woman is actually a widow, notice that she's supposed to have either your grandchildren or your grown children supposed to see about you. This is how you know when people say single mothers are a widow, she don't qualify. Because she ain't got no grandchildren. She's not a widow indeed. That goes off to the other point about being an elder woman is you bring children to adulthood. You know what I'm talking about? See, as forth as around here, man, we know we have my mama, we got Mother Sharona. As forth as they have raised children to adulthood. You know what I'm talking about? Before you can even, because how you going to look at a woman who's 27 years old and talk about Emma such and such? You stupid as a box of rocks. She ain't no mother to nobody. She's still mothering children herself. How you going to be a mother amongst women and you still changing diapers? And not as a grandmother. That's not how that works. I'm trying to say, honestly, I'm learning to talk to people I trust with discretion because people around us may be ear hustling. See, one thing about it, that ear hustling stuff come in at when you're dealing with people who see, you should never be concerned about somebody ear hustling if you don't want what you're discussing to be known. That means you're talking around too many people. You know what I'm talking about? See, if it's something that you know that you can confide into who you're talking to, that means you know who you're talking to. You ain't worrying about who hearing it because you know they ain't gonna be around anybody for if it's sensitive information to be divulged, if you would. I'm in 1 Timothy 5, Lee. Right now we're in 1 Timothy 5 and 4. But I understand what you're saying. 1 Timothy 5 and 4. Listen to it.
But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home.
That's piety. Piety means to show honor, respect, reverence. And to do what?
Requite their parents.
To do what?
Requite their parents.
For this is good
and acceptable before Allah.
That means if your mama husband died, it would be good for you to pay her back. If she desolate. Come on with it.
Now she that is a widow indeed.
Now notice what he's finna tell you. This is what make her a widow indeed. And desolate. If she do what?
Trust in Elohim.
If she do what?
Trust in Elohim.
If she ain't got no faith in God, she ain't no widow.
And continue in supplications and prayer night and day.
If she don't pray all the time, she ain't no widow.
But she that live in pleasure is dead while she
lives. You want to do what feel good to you, you're going to hell. Go ahead.
And these things give in charge that they may be blameless.
But if any
provide not for his own,
especially
for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
Let not a widow
be taken into the number under 80 years old, having been the wife of one man.
So that means if this woman doesn't have more than one husband, she ain't no widow. If this woman is under 60 years old, she ain't no widow. That means it's not the assembly's job to take care of her. The reason why that's important is just what I mentioned earlier. If she's young enough, she can just get another husband. If her husband has died. Not that that should be something that's put on the congregation to care for this woman.
So you said she had more than one man. Meaning, like if her husband died, she got another husband, and he died?
Yeah, she is.
She can't be a widow?
She can't be a widow. She got to be locked in with that one man.
I'm just saying, because I'm just thinking about Naomi.
But not Naomi only had one husband.
Not Naomi.
Ruth, you know what I'm talking about? But she wouldn't be considered a widow indeed for the congregation to take care of.
I'm saying if she got an age, because the person died.
But she would have grandchildren to be able to care for her. See, now this is dealing with if you don't have children or don't have grandchildren. That's why he stated, let them take care of you first. Let your kids and your grandkids see about you. Now, if you ain't got no kids or no grandkids to see about you, now we got to come in here. What's the qualifications to prove that this woman is a widow for the assembly to care for her? Go ahead.
Let not a widow be that well reported of for good works.
So if she ain't got no record of doing any good works in the community, she ain't no widow.
If she have brought up children.
If she ain't raised children to adulthood, she ain't no widow.
If she have lodged strangers.
If you ain't let people dwell at your house, you ain't no widow.
If she have washed the saints' feet.
If you haven't shown respect to the saints by washing their feet, not on that only, I'm only going to do that for my husband, you ain't no widow.
If she have relieved the afflicted.
If you ain't relieved the afflicted, like you're going to see in Proverbs 31, you ain't no widow.
If she have diligently followed every good work.
If you ain't followed every good work that Yahuwah prescribed, you ain't no widow. Yes. Sisters and brothers are not required to take care of you. Your brother would have his own wife and your sister would have her own husband. So that would be your children's job to do that, or your grandchildren's job to do that. Or depending on how old you are, you can get another husband. So you got to listen to that. Listen to the key thing it backed up with, because I done told y'all this before. All that thought process of, I'm only going to show respect and honor to my husband and not to all the saints. You evil is all outdoors. You evil is all outdoors. Nigga, this ain't the street where I only care about my husband. You're a funky lying bastard if you walk around talking about you serve God and you think like that. I'll tell you that right now. You're a lie from hell. You don't think Mary and Martha had a husband? You don't think Susanna had a husband? I'm telling you about the women you can read in the Gospels who said they came in here and served the Lord every chance they got. You don't think they were married? Give them Luke 8:1, man. You can't have that attitude on, because I remember I told y'all that years back, y'all want to fix plates, you want to fix your husband plate first. The hell wrong with you? You supposed to be serving all the sanctified ones. You serve your husband at home. You want to serve him his plate first? Take your funky behind home. When you're in the house of God, you serve all the saints, not your husband, not your children. What's wrong with you? We got the wrong attitude. You know what I'm talking about? It's the same token that if you know your brother's wife needed assistance, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna do it for my wife first. What you mean? That's supposed to be your sister, nigga. What's wrong with you? Let me see what Mother Sharona said. My mother is a widow, and although her church was small, they still gave her a small pen, as they should have. That's why I tell you, when it comes to certain stuff, you niggas talk trash about them Christians, but they follow a lot of the stuff what this book says forth as an assembly is concerned on how they interact with one another. Usually the smaller, the mid-sized churches, maybe not necessarily the mega churches. You know what I'm talking about? That most people like to talk about. You know what I'm talking about? Because I just done heard too many reports from people from small and mid-sized churches that say that that's what they experience was. That's why they come around and say they feel more connected as forth as love and fellowship with when they was Christians than when they were bruised, because you niggas don't be fooling with people for real because you're selfish as hell. Go ahead, man.
Saying it came to pass afterward that he went throughout every city and village, preaching and showing the glad tidings of the Malkuth of Elohim and the 12 with him. And certain women which had been healed of evil ruachs and infirmities, Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils. And Joanna, the wife of Cuza Herod.
Joanna, the wife of who?
Cuza.
Joanna, she was a what?
A wife.
Oh, she was a regular woman.
A wife.
She was a single woman?
A wife.
Oh, so she had a husband. Mm-hmm. And what it said this woman Joanna did?
And Susanna and many others which ministered
unto him. Who else was with her?
Susanna.
And what they did?
And many others which
many other women
which ministered unto him of their substance.
That means they served that man of the things that they had. And that woman had a husband. She didn't say, oh no, I only do that for my husband. See, I was a brother shared something, man, why they were talking about, lady was talking about, I never read in the Bible where it said the woman was supposed to stay home with the kids. And I wanted to tell that, shut up, you funky dog back hoe you. Nigga ought to shut your mouth. Because if you go read that Proverbs 31 woman that every woman claims she want to be, she was getting money, man, and taking care of the house. Not on some old, I ain't got to do all that. Well, I got to take care of the house and get money too. Because you a wicked woman, that's why. That's why you got a problem with it. You selfish as hell. Let me tell y'all something, man. Because I see these women say this stuff on these doggone reels all the time. Let me be honest with you, man. Boy, it's not a flex to see. It's only a flex for a woman to say, my man's a provider. That ain't no flex for him. Because if you ain't doing nothing for the family, that means you're a damn fool. That's a flex for you to boast in front of other women. You know what I'm talking about? See, it's at the forefront of my mind because the story, I done told you this before, right? How many of you women to be like Gucci wife, man, and the nigga give you $2 million and he be gone for a few years and you turn them $2 million to $6 million? How many of y'all just would have took the $2 million and be like, oh, that nigga in jail? You know what I'm talking about? She didn't even look at it like, oh, this my money, he gone. She like, hey, I'm finna get this money for my nigga because I'm down with my nigga because I'm on his team and I want him to win. Not I want him to win so I can benefit. I want him to win because I want him to win. See, if you just want to sit back with your feet kicked up talking about this nigga pay for this and pay for that, you don't like that nigga for real. You know what I'm talking about? Because you would want to be like, okay, what can I do? If he's making $60,000, what can I do to turn it to 180? Because that's what that Proverbs 31 woman was doing. She wasn't talking about, well, I got to get up early in the morning and make food for my family and then go out here and plant a vineyard. That's not what she said. She went out there and did it happily. Then she went out there and made some clothes and said, let me sell that too. Because she was doing that for the family. Don't you know the book say a wise woman do what? All right, then. Who house you think she building? She ain't building hers. You know what I'm saying? We got to think about that because that's how this world that we live in now. Men supposed to be a provider. Shut your funky behind. Where your daddy was at doing that? Y'all seen that clip where that lady was talking with her son? She was like, you want a nigga to take you to a restaurant? She said, tell me the last restaurant your daddy took you to. How you gonna ask a nigga take you to Ruth Chris? Your daddy take you to Hardee's, nigga. Take a nigga to Hardee's, man. This man don't even take you nowhere where you can sit down at. He don't even take you nowhere where somebody come and take your order and you got to read a menu and they come back and you got to wait for the food. You talking about where a nigga supposed to take you. When the last nigga you had, How many niggas who dropped meat off in you, how many of them took responsibility for you? And now you talking about a nigga need to provide for you. I ought to provide a boot for your behind. That's what I ought to provide.
So most of these women are over a certain age. You don't hear teenagers and people that
No.
they early 20s talk about that.
So they don't care.
Yeah, exactly. That and if they're being taken somewhere, you know, they
They being taken?
You know, taken somewhere. They already with somebody, you know, where they appreciate where they're going. It's only the women that's 35, 32 and up. Yes.
I'm sorry. No, I'm just sorry. That nigga Monte put in that. You could have bought her pizza. That threw me off because I heard Mace in my head just then. Oh man. But you're right though. You're absolutely right though. See, it's different. See, it's only different when the woman actually like the dude. You know what I'm saying? When she like the dude, she appreciate the fact that it's because I just want to be with the nigga, so I don't care what restaurant we went to. You know what I'm talking about? Now, of course, you know, if you've been with somebody over a period of time, you're already gonna know what they prefer to eat and what they don't prefer to eat. Like I said, that restaurant because the dude was in there work. See, we didn't talk about this before. When it's on my mind, and I try, and we, because you know, some days run long. Because I definitely thought we were gonna be back to the house way earlier today than what happened. But I prefer local restaurants, like locally owned. You know what I'm talking about? That people who actually from Jacksonville or moved to Jacksonville, and because there's some grade A restaurants that's locally owned in this city. Let me tell you. You know what I'm talking about? I seen somebody say Silky's was overrated, and I said that's unfortunate. Because them biscuits fire. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people may agree, some people may not agree. But that's just me. You know what I'm talking about? But a lot of stuff come in that is, and that's what I was telling y'all Wednesday, you can't let somebody look at you and think that you a wallet. You know what I'm talking about? I told you the other day, I put that in the chat. Go look in that doggone Pew Research Indicator financial calculator, man. It take $100,000 a year for a family of 4 in Jacksonville, Florida to be considered middle class. Do you understand how serious that is? If for a family of 4, that's whether it's 1 income or 2 income. You got to make 100 bands to be middle class. Do you not understand when I was a teenager, $100,000 a year put you in the upper class? That put you in the upper class. You middle class now. Do you understand how much money you got to make? And you telling me I got to carry that by myself just for some coochie cleaning and chicken? Talking about you going to nurture my children? Man, bump them kids. That's why I'm broke, because these goddamn kids. I shouldn't have brought you around here. Then I wouldn't have these kids. I had some money. Because $50,000 a year for one man in Jacksonville, Florida is middle class. Matter of fact, $50,000 a year for 2 people in Jacksonville, Florida is middle class. You know what the problem is with the majority of American black folk? They don't want to be middle class. Everybody want to be upper class. Well, if everybody's upper class, then that means somebody ain't got no money. So that means Jacksonville, Florida, if the median home price is $407,000 and to be middle class is $100,000 for a family of 4. And I just seen a lady say she was arguing with her mama that how you cannot buy a house in America making $35,000 a year because she thinking about 40, 50 years ago. Y'all niggas high on drugs. You know what I'm talking about? And the reason why I mention this here is because what you don't realize is how you have been socialized to desire to be in a class that you will never be in and to look down on and disrespect people who are not in the said class that you're not even in, that you actually a part of. Somebody called me today and told me, man, they shed a tear today because they was in Popeyes and a homeless man asked for some food and everybody ridiculed the man, told him he stank and said, man, we're going to call the police on you. When in reality, all those people who was talking about this homeless man was a hop, skip, and a jump from being where he at. You know what I'm talking about? And when I say this, I'm talking about the majority of Americans, man. The majority, because really, it ain't no middle class no more. It's either you rich or you poor. And the most majority of Americans are poor. As far as income is concerned. No matter how much money you making. And these people know this. And it seems like our people are the biggest perpetuators of class warfare, which has to be the most asinine thing that I have ever seen in my entire life. How can the oppressed class be oppressing each other in class warfare in a social class system that ain't even designed for your stupid behind? Junk don't make no sense to me. Hold on, let me see what Nisha got. She said women do be acting brand new, and daddy ain't never took them to a restaurant. Hell, they don't even know what daddy look like. All they know is daddy last name. They don't even know her first name. They ain't never seen a picture of her. You know what I'm talking about? Then you know what the word part is? A nigga be acting brand new, and they got a baby from a nigga who can't even buy two for two from McDonald's. Talking about where a nigga gonna take you. That nigga took you to the backseat of his car. He ain't never take you nowhere. And I ain't talking about when you was a teenager in your 20s. These women be doing this and they be in their 30s. In their 30s. This nigga don't even take you to McDonald's. That nigga say you can't even get nothing off the value menu. You got to get it off the dollar menu. Nigga, you crazy. But I said all that. I'm telling you, man, this social class stuff that going on out here, man, that black people got going on, that junk don't make no sense. You are the most oppressed class of people in the United States of America. You are the poorest people in the United States of America. How are you participating in social class warfare in a country that social class system was not even set up with you in mind? Yet you walking around as a elitist with money when the mass majority of people, irregardless of race, but more specifically of quote unquote black people, are the poorest. It don't make sense. And you wonder why you lagging behind, because you stupid. Because your self-esteem is so low, you want to feel like you're better than somebody because you got such and such and such and such. Nigga, when majority of Americans are poor and they got to set up this way and people going to keep getting poor. Man, everything in America in the last 50 years has went up on a steady pace except for wages. And you think that's by accident? How the home price doubled in the last 20 years, but wages ain't doubled in the last 20 years? How you supposed to survive like that? You can't survive like that. And you sitting around talking about, nah, I'm going to get money, but I ain't going to put it in the pot for the family because it's a man's duty to provide. Man, get your stupid behind out my face, you selfish bastard. You know what I'm talking about? The hell's wrong with you? And then you wonder why these dudes don't want to get married. Get married for what? Get married for what? What does this benefit me? Why would I want to do that when you demanding more and I'm getting less? And I say that because, again, I keep telling you that's how we treat Yahuwah. You want to demand more from him, we're giving him less service, less faith, less obedience, less righteousness, but you want more. That's not representative of where Yahuwah lack or what men lack. It shows where you lack in common decency, self-respect, and selflessness, which means it ain't no love in you. That's what it means. Ain't no love in you. That's the problem. Come on with it, man. 1 Timothy 5, verse 11. See, don't get caught up in the natural stuff because you got to sit back and look at it. How we behave naturally is how we behave to the real provider. You know what I'm talking about? Go ahead with it, man.
But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against a Mashiach, they will marry.
They will what?
They will marry.
Tell them what wax wanton means, just so they know.
That is to feel the impulses of sexual desire.
They're going to want some wee-wee. He said, man, when they go to feeling that desire, because remember, in the book of Luke, right, there was a woman who was a widow, was she not? Who remember her name? Let me show it to you. Just stay where you at. Come over here to Luke chapter 2, everybody. See, this is a godly woman right here we finna read about. Good godly woman. Luke 2 and 36. And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She was of great age and had lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity. And she a widow of about 84 years, which departed not from the temple, but served with fasting and prayers night and day. Notice it said this woman was a widow for 84 years. You know what I'm talking about? That means her husband died young. And she said, all I'm going to do is dedicate myself to serving you when her husband died. Now, he telling you that and I'm making this because if she was a widow for 84 years, that means she was a young widow. That means the desire for sex did not conquer her. She said, nah, I'm going to just go ahead and ride this on out. I'm telling you this because it doesn't make you an evil woman if your husband died and you desire to be with somebody else. You know what I'm talking about? Because I know sometimes people feel like, well, if my wife died, I don't want to be with nobody else. That's not reality. That's TV. That's movies. Most people going to have sexual desires if they're young, when their spouse passed away. You know what I'm talking about? If you got married in your 20s and your spouse passed away in your 20s, you very well may marry somebody else, male or female. That's very well going to happen. Because most people are not that dedicated to Yahuwah to curb their sexual desires to remain unmarried. Because that's why that woman remained unmarried. It's the same way where I say that in Matthew 19. All that I remained unmarried because my heart belonged to my husband and to my wife. That's fantasy stuff on TV, man. Cut the crap. Nigga, we too grown for that. That's not reality. There's only a handful of people in life that actually feel that way and live their life like that. Now, me personally, I wouldn't want to deal with a woman who in love with a dead man. Because it ain't going to make no sense. You ain't going to get nowhere. You're going to be like what they say Jada Pinkett be doing. You know what I'm talking about? Fantasizing about whether I don't know what she had going on, but that's the only example that we got that we could mention where somebody's always pining away about a dead man.
Yeah, I got sex with my sister because she ain't have kids. I feel like women that have kids. I know her husband just passed away, but she got newborns, so I doubt it.
Yeah, that's not on her mind.
Yeah,
that's not on her mind.
By the time her kids maybe get 2 or 3, she
may consider it, but it had to be right situation and circumstance.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? But I'm just saying in general, depending on the age, they probably gonna remarry. It's very few people that have that type of bond and kinship with somebody that say, I don't want to be with nobody else for the rest of my life. But these are people who don't serve God. This woman is somebody who served God. So though she loved her husband, she loved Yahuwah more. So I was with my husband, I'm gonna just serve Yahuwah for the rest of my days. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, you have to divest yourself from this romantic motion and output that is not reality. Because it's going to set yourself up for disappointment. You know what I'm saying? Women going to be more inclined to that, but I'm going to tell you something about most men if you didn't know. Most men want yams. You know what I'm talking about? They want yams. And they're not finna be walking around here talking about I love her so much that I'm just not finna. I just told Jimmy this earlier, right? I forgot what we were listening to, man. But people be talking, the lady was like, men only want women for a vagina. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Men want to ejaculate. And they can only ejaculate in 4 different ways. And a few of them are abominable. And it was funny because one of them I mentioned, I knew I was in jail when the dude came to jail, and Jimmy knew the dude. He mentioned I knew exactly what he was talking about. He gonna either go have sex with an animal, which means this nigga is completely, utterly insane. He gonna have sex with a man. He gonna masturbate. Or he gonna have sex with a woman. You know what I'm talking about? Men have testosterone. They have a desire to have sex. It is not very many men who are sexually disciplined, or where they do not allow their desires to dictate their behavior, their thoughts, and their actions. It ain't that many. It ain't that many, I'm trying to tell you. Most dudes will have sex with the wall if he can get pleasure from it. That's how bad some of these dudes is out here, man. I've been told you this niggas trick with crackheads.
Now that reminds me of that scene on Scary Movie. It was a scene like that on Scary Movie when Sean went into the bathroom. It was a whole bathroom stall.
Yeah, like, come on, man. I told you this before. You ain't never heard no woman willfully go trick with a crackhead. Dudes trick with crackheads. This is not a pimp prostitute city. Dudes were going on Macduff and Main Street in Jacksonville, Florida, tricking. Ain't nothing but crackheads out there. So most men don't have the sexual discipline when the impulse comes. This is why I told you that's why most women in the world, they think when a man have any type of conversation with her, she believes that he is trying to come at her sexually, because that is how the majority of men behave, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Most women don't know what to do with a man who actually does not desire them sexually, which in turn has her confused, which makes her want to desire him sexually more because he's not trying to have sex with her. And she don't understand why. Yeah, most men ain't sexually disciplined. I hate to be the bearer of bad news if you thought that it was the case, because it's not. That's why the books speak against it. That's how you know most dudes don't got the ruach, because they don't have no self-control. Because I'm telling you, if you can't control your penis, you can't control your life. Surely can't. And if any man tell you different, he don't love you. And he ain't no man. Don't listen to him. Come on with it.
Say, having damnation because they have cast off their first faith. And with all they learn to be idle.
To be what?
To be idle.
Tell them what idle means, man. See, this is what happened. He said, now your husband gone and you're idle.
That's argos. That's free from labor, at leisure, lazy.
Free from labor, at leisure, lazy.
So shunning the labor which one ought to perform.
You don't want to do the work you're supposed to be doing.
It's useless.
You're useless. Now imagine if you read that and said, with all they learn to be useless. And with all they learn to be lazy. And that all they learn to shun the labor that they ought to be doing. And once you hear these women, I want a soft life. I'm supposed to be at leisure. Boy, God say you don't need no soft life.
Another definition is unemployed.
Unemployed. You ain't got nothing to do. Now, hold on. Let's look at Proverbs 31. Now, of course, you got to remember, in antiquity, did these men and women have jobs they clocked into? Not like we do. They went to somebody, they agreed for a wage, and they worked. Or these people created some type of income for themselves. That's how it was. It ain't like the construct that we have now. It was, but it's not. When I say it was, it's that you didn't have a corporate, what's the word I'm looking for? This is another word that go along with corporate, but it's escaping me at this time. You didn't have all these corporate structures and monstrosities and you know what I'm saying, this, that, there, and the third all together that people were a part of. You know what I'm talking about? You didn't have businesses in antiquity that employed 50,000 people. You know what I'm talking about? 25,000 people and things of that sort. That's not how that went. People might have employed 100, maybe 1,000. You know what I'm talking about? But look at it saying Proverbs 31:10. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price far above rubies? The heart of her husband do safely trust in her, that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seek what?
Wool.
And what else?
And flax.
Working what?
Willingly with her hands.
Working what?
Willingly with her
now
hands.
Now tell them what willingly means, man.
Kafets.
That means she take pleasure in working with her hands. So he said, if you learn to be idle, if you useless, you can't be no godly woman and you don't take pleasure in doing nothing. Can't claim it. Let's continue. She rise also. It's like the merchant ships. She bring a food from where?
Afar.
She rise also while it is what?
Night.
And give what?
Meat to her household.
And a portion
to her maidens.
So notice it didn't say her maidens were there and they did all the work. But guess what? It said she worked willingly with her hands, and then she got up and fed everybody. Now, what's the next thing you say? She consider a what?
A field.
And she do what?
Buy it.
And with the fruit of her hands,
she plant a vineyard.
So now she seen it. She said, you know what? I'm going to buy that. And then she went and planted a vineyard. Now, that's the next thing you say. She girded her loins with what?
Strength.
And strengthened her what?
Her arms.
And she perceived that her what?
Merchandise is
and
good.
Her candle doing what?
Go not out
now,
by
what
night.
these women always be talking about, a woman's job ain't never done, like a man's job ain't never done. Everybody got a job to do. Everybody got a job to do. You know what's wrong with this generation? The men, the women, everybody lazy as hell. Everybody lazy as hell. Everybody complaining about doing what mankind been doing since he made Adam. Working, nigga. Ain't nobody. What did that man tell you? He said, who wear soft clothing? Those who dwell where? In kings' houses. You got grown men and women talking about, I want a soft life. When in the history of mankind did everybody have a soft goddamn life? Never. It ain't never happened. Nobody in the house of Yasharal had a soft life if you wasn't from the kingly tribes. Streets weren't paved. You had to walk. You ain't had no ass, no horse, nothing but Tom and Jerry. That's everybody, the man and the woman, Tom and Jerry. Get to it. Hop to it. You around here talking about, I got to watch these kids. Well, who else going to watch them? Now, I say that because I don't know what, I've been telling y'all this for a long time. I don't know what level of history you niggas come from. But ain't nobody had no soft life in the history of mankind. I had an argument with a woman about that. She getting upset. I say, baby, in every culture in history, women worked. The advent of a housewife is a strictly North American thing. Strictly. When they're going to talk about housewives, they always flash back to Leave It to Beaver. They don't go to the 1800s. They don't go to the 1700s. They go to the 1940s and 50s. And I'm telling you this here because what do black women always say? White women ain't never had to work. The lies you tell. They work. Come on, man. Nigga talk about Madam C.J. Walker. She was a millionaire in the 1800s, early 1900s. A millionaire, nigga. What are we talking about? And she wasn't the only black female millionaire, by the way. She's just the most well-known. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I know, hopefully y'all know who Madam C.J. Walker is. If you don't, that's unfortunate. You know what I'm talking about? Look her up. I ain't finna give you no history lesson. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. I say this because you get fed a narrative because y'all don't read. So you believe that only black women had to work hard. Every woman worked. They all worked. Working on the farm is work, man. You think because she didn't have a job, she didn't work? That was her job. Yeah, they may have grew chickens, she killed them. And she skinned them, and she cooked them. She didn't be like, man, what I got this man for? I got to kill these chickens and clean. Because he over there tending to the field, that's why. But your funky behind think he's supposed to come in and do everything for you, and all you got to do is open your leg. At least if he can do everything for you, you at least have a body that no other man sampled. How do you have the audacity? Not nigga, we got to go with the regular word. The audacity of this generation. The men and the women. It's absolutely not. Yeah. You know, the women say we in my soft girl era. That ain't nothing but a cold word for I'm a lazy hoe. I'm looking for a sucker to be able to let me sit around and do absolutely nothing. Not nothing for him, not nothing for me. I literally heard a grown man say, why would you want your woman to do all them chores? I don't want her cooking and cleaning. Well, what the hell else she there for? Do you not know any woman will fool with you, nigga, if she ain't got to do nothing? That don't mean that woman love you, nigga. Man, it's a 95% of women in America. If they can say they can run across a dude and he'll pay for somebody to clean the house, wash the clothes, and cook the meals, and she ain't got to do nothing and hire a nanny, oh, she don't got to like you. She know every now and then she got to give you some yams to keep you up off of her, and she'll be in your face and act like she fool with you for the rest of her day because she know I got me one. This nigga's a dummy. You got to ask yourself, if you got a woman who don't want to do nothing, why would you want her? She don't want to do nothing. That nigga say, flip the mattress, pay the cable bill, do something. He said, out of all the hoes in the, I had to get the laziest hoe in America. You got women claiming it's hard being a stay-at-home mom. Nigga, you can take a nap in the middle of the day. I can't take a nap in the middle of the day. Nigga, I was in the house with black mold. I can't sleep in there. You at the house and you can say, I'm tired, I can take a nap. Your job ain't hard, baby, if you can take a nap on the clock. Because I can't take one. You know what I'm talking about? I can't take a nap. Cindy was in the house. We can't take no, who gonna sleep in there? And then I come home and you be like, damn, I gotta clean the house. Well, you been here all day. Why you ain't cleaning at 11 o'clock? Why you wait till 7:30 to clean the house and then complain about it? That's your fault. You had all goddamn day to do this. But the point is, it's the time management. I done talked to you ladies about that before. When you manage your time wrong, then of course you're going to be overwhelmed. Because if you don't work, my house should never look like a hurricane hit it. If the house filthy, you ain't worth your salt. I know I ain't saying you got to cook every day. But it's 7 days in a week. If you don't cook over 50% of them, what the hell you staying home for? Now, I wash my own clothes. Why you let the clothes pile up? Why don't you strategically do your job to make it easier? If you was on Mr. Charlie job, you'll find a way to make your job easier so you ain't overwork yourself. Why wouldn't you use your brain and do that at home? Then this man come home, he been working. It's more to providing than just making money. Well, hell, nigga, you been here all day. What we got going on here? At that point, I just need to provide for myself. Now, I'm saying this for you to put in perspective, not to knock nobody. Imagine if you was a man, imagine you was a woman. How would you feel? You don't work 14 hours. This nigga been home all day. And this nigga ain't made you nothing. He ain't cleaned the house. He ain't been playing Madden. Let me tell you something. He ain't even in shape. You don't even work out. But you only need 45 minutes to an hour a day to do exercise. You ain't got to be in the gym like I be in the gym. You ain't got to be in there an hour and a half, 2 hours. 45 minutes to an hour, you can't even stay in shape. But you got time to talk to your friends and gossip. You got time to pick up the damn mop and the weights, nigga. Let me leave people alone. He said, out of all my clients, I only had one client that was home living a soft life while all the husband works. He's a multi-millionaire. You know what I'm talking about? And she probably was with him from the jump street. She probably earned a keep for him to tell her, go and kick your feet up. But I tell you this here, every man that I know who's a multi-millionaire, at least on the real estate side, they wives work for them or they got their own thing going on.
I would say most women, it's a soft life, but they do, what do you call it, humanitarian work, philanthropy.
Yeah, they do philanthropy.
They do stuff in the community.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She just ain't sitting around doing nothing. Exactly. And that's real now. I'm glad she said that. Because most white men who wealthy like that, and some black men, depending on what cities you in. Because if we go in the DMV area and we go in Atlanta, you're going to see black women who move exactly like this also. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a lot of black women in Jacksonville that I can think. Remember that house we did for Willie? Mm-hmm. And that lady had all that stuff about all the stuff she did. We cleaned out a house in Ortega. And that man's wife was like that. All type of social work.
Well-known
throughout Jacksonville for community work. All this type of stuff. That's what women who do. But she's still doing something. No, she just ain't sitting home. Yeah, they doing something. You don't want a woman who don't want to do nothing but cock her legs up. She said, all my other wealthy clients' wives work. I know they do. And you know why? Because 9 times out of 10, that woman was already doing something. So she like, here, hey, yeah, that nigga getting money, but I'm going to get my money how I do it, and I'm going to put it in the pot for the family. Not, oh, his money is my money, and my money is my money. No, that's not how they operate. You know what I'm saying? Not in other races of people. It's some white women who operate like that, but most women in other nationalities, they don't operate like that. It's only black women who operate like that. You only operate like that because you're raggedy behind mama told you to do that. You know what I'm talking about? And you're raggedy behind mama told you to do that because she never had a nigga who was making no money or had a desire to make no money. You have to realize something. You can't listen to a woman who ain't never had a man who would get into no money about how to interact with a man who get into some money. You can't listen to that. She said, imagine making a meal for your spouse that they requested all happy and then walking in the house selling out about the meal before even trying it. That's tough. What you say about that, Sylvia? That's kind of tough, baby. Yeah. I don't complain. I don't even ask for no meal. Because, you know what I'm saying? All I know is she going to cook it and I'm going to eat it. But I was always like that because my mama tell you I ain't asked for too many meals because whatever she cook, I'm going to eat. That nigga know what I eat and what I don't eat. And they know if I ain't like it because I ain't going to eat it. And guess what? It ain't been too many times I ain't like it because I'm going to eat mine. You know what I'm talking about? Only time I don't eat mine if I ain't home. You know what I'm talking about? Because sometimes I don't even be home.
A lot of black view what goes on in the world is unrealistic views of what they see.
I don't know where they're getting it from, but it ain't. I can tell you ain't been around nobody with no money. You know what I'm talking about? Because people with money don't move like this. I'm telling you, White men wives ain't sitting at the house doing nothing. They ain't going for it. Most of them ain't going for it. Because they be like, guess what? You know what happened when she sit around and ain't doing nothing? She finna find a wee-wee to play with. That's why you hear all them stories about she had sex with the pool boy and all that other stuff. Because she ain't got nothing to do. And since she ain't got nothing to do, she finna look for a rod to do. If she got something to do, she can't think about no wee-wee. She busy. Come on with it. Oh, I ain't finished yet. Proverbs 31, man. It said in verse 17, verse 18, she perceive her merchandise is good, her candle don't go out by night. She lay her hands to the spindle, her hands hold the distaff. Look at what it says. She stretched out her hand to the who?
To the poor.
So this is a compassionate woman. This is a merciful woman. This is the character of this type of woman. See, a lot of women say, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. You not. Because you have to embody all those characteristics. That's why it says that woman is rare. Because not only is she industrious, not only is she has a strong work ethic, not only is she a trustworthy and loyal woman, but she's also a merciful and compassionate woman. So what you see in this woman is multiple attributes of Yahuwah that reside in her for the due reverence that she has for Yahuwah. Which is what is supposed to be seen by the men if you his wife. Because you're supposed to be willing to bust your gun to get it. He's supposed to be able to rest safely by putting his word in your heart that you won't spoil his word and do it no evil. He's supposed to be able to trust that. He's supposed to know that you're willing to get up and make sure that everybody taken care of in the household. You know what I'm talking about? See, he want to be able to know, hey, man, that you're going to gird your loins with strength and be merciful to those that are without. That's the next thing you say. And she reached forth her hands to the needy. See, that goes back to when we talk about women who are philanthropists or however you pronounce it wrong. You know what I'm saying? That do that type of social work. Because they care about doing for those who are less fortunate, not sitting around talking about, I ain't got to do nothing. I'm living a soft life. You're a trash woman, ma'am. You're a trash woman. All the way around the board. And I'm not telling you that because that's your fault. That's what you were taught. You have to unlearn that folly because that's not no good woman. Because I'm telling you, we don't want to say grandma. Your great grandma, you know what I'm talking about? Your great grandma went to work, came home, and took care of everybody. And never looked at your great granddaddy like he was less than a man. Talking about why I got to go to work and cook and clean. Because she knew that was her job, baby. Because if that's what's going to benefit the family, that's what she going to do. Look at the next thing you say, right? She says she is not afraid of the snow for her household. For all her household is clothed in scarlet. See, that takes you back to that passage when he say, I can't go to work. It's a lion in the street. She ain't lazy. She says she make herself coverings of tapestry, her clothing silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sit among the elders of the land. That means when you're dealing with a virtuous woman, that means her husband has some type of social status. Not social status because he got a whole lot of money. Because if he's known by the elders in the gate, he's known for being a just and righteous man. You know what I'm talking about? So she ain't married to no goofy. See, when you talk about being known in the gates and Yasharal, you known for having a good report, for doing good work. That's what you're known for. Not for fame and status and clout like we got now. Not for money. She make fine linen and sell and deliver girdles unto the merchant. Steady talking about she gets into this money, man. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on. She said, I feel like the soft life is thought to be when a woman is doing nothing but chilling. But honestly, it's still soft when you can be provided for and can still add what is going. But see, that's not really being soft. What you just described, Nisha, is just being a woman. You know what I'm talking about? But I understand your point, though. Because, yeah, the man's supposed to make it happen, but you're a help me. See, what didn't happen, I done told you this before, I told you this other night. What done happened in America is that the women are expecting men to be the help me. You to help me. You're supposed to be an aid, a help, and a relief. That is your duty. That's what, didn't he say, I'll make a help meet for him? So that's your duty. So you're supposed to aid and relieve in what he is doing. You're supposed to take stuff off his shoulders, not him supposed to be taking nothing off of yours. What you got on your shoulders? Now, I can see if you was a single woman with no man, because again, we talking about in a different time. Because if you were a single woman with no man in the times of antiquity, you would still be at your daddy's house. So you would be in the same capacity with your father as eventually you would be with your husband. I understand what a woman in America got on her shoulders because she got to take care of herself. You know how simple-minded some women in America is? You would get upset when you paying $2,000 worth of rent than versus putting them same $2,000 you would have paid in rent in the pot for the family when a man come along. You feel like you're supposed to keep the $2,000 for yourself. When you was paying 100% of this here, and you feel like he's supposed to come and make my life ever so easy. Your life was hard because you made it hard. It's not his job to come and make your life easier because you had bad decision making and made your life difficult. And I say that because that's how we approach Yahuwah. What does Proverbs say? The way of transgressors is what? So that means you made your life hard and you think he's supposed to come in and make it easier? Stop being stupid. Your life won't be hard. Now, we also know life can be difficult and you ain't got to be stupid. You know what I'm talking about? Because sometimes life comes through pause, come hit you hard and fast. Am I lying? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Come sting you real quick. You be like, whoa, what's the name of that bus? You know what I'm talking about? What's the name of that truck? That's what they used to say on Madden. What's the name of that truck? Can't hold the ball that long. You know what I'm talking about? You don't know nothing about it. That's for y'all time. You don't know nothing about Madden when you were talking like that. About Madden 93, you might have not even been born yet. Yeah, it came. Madden 93, that means it came out in 92. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, that was his line back then. Listen, next thing he says, strength and honor, clothing. She shall rejoice in the time to come. She opened her mouth with what? Wisdom. So that means a virtuous woman got skill. She know what to tell you, what to do and what not to do in a godly fashion. And in her tongue is the law of what? Kindness. Now, come on, man. It say the law of the instruction. Tell them what law and kindness is right there, man. Because this is say that's what's on her tongue, man. This is what she speaks. Law is Torah. She got the Torah, what? Kindness. What kindness is, man? Kased. Kased. Ain't that the same thing he say, Yahuwah Elohim? Gracious and what? Mercy. So that means she got the mercy of God on her lips, man. When she talk to you, the mercy of God come out of her mouth. If the mercy of God ain't coming out of her mouth, you ain't no virtuous woman. That means she know how to take. No, ain't that's what we read about the older women. They can tell you how to be what? Godly, because it's wisdom in her mouth. We can't be coming with the wisdom of this world. We got to come from the wisdom that comes from Shamayim. You know what I'm talking about? And that's what we don't got going on. Look at the next thing and say, man, she looked well to the ways of her household and eat not the bread of what? Idleness. Tell them what idleness means.
That's atzut. That's sluggishness, laziness.
Lazy. Unemployed. Useless. Say she don't eat the bread of idleness. And you got all these women talking about a woman's job is never done. Well, God said it ain't supposed to be. So what are you talking about? Now, I only say this if you desire or proclaim to be a Proverbs 31 woman. Because if you don't desire or proclaim this, then this don't pertain to you, baby. This don't pertain to you. You do you. I'm talking about the women who say, I want to be this woman that the text say is a woman who ought to be praised. That's why the book says she is her price is far above what? And who can find her? That means she rare. That means all these women can't be what God say is rare. And this is something I tell my home, because everything that these women in 2023 say that they don't want to do, we tired. We sick of this here. You know what's funny when I hear these women say they tired and sick of it, these men ain't this? You keep laying down with bums. What the hell do you expect? If you meet a nigga and your vagina get moist for a nigga who always at do dirty house playing Madden, this nigga ain't got no job, no drive, no ambition, no desire, no nothing. You deserve that. Now, I can see you being plumb dumb and stupid at 18. Hell, even at 22. I can't see you being that stupid and you 28, 29, 30, 31 years old. At this point, you a bum hoe. Because you like bum niggas, so that's the only thing I can come up with. or if you have a history of dealing with niggas who are bums, then that's the type of man you deserve because you a bum. And I don't care how much money you making. Because it's not the money that's going to make you a bum, baby. It's the mindset you got. You got the mindset of a bum. Because how the hell you can lay up next to a nigga who can sleep all day and not want to do nothing? And you turn around and look at him and say, ooh, woo, I want to give him something tonight. And this nigga been on, at least he should have been on Twitch making some money. This nigga on Madden or on Call of Duty arguing with 10-year-olds who home on winter break. Don't make no sense. Her children will rise up and call her blessed. Her husband, and he praise her. Now, see, this is one of the things you have to sit back and look at. Do your children call you blessed? How your children look at you? Because if you want to know what type of woman a woman is, just look at how her children interact with her. What her children think about her. And that'll tell you what type of woman that is. Straight up and down. You ain't got to lie. Didn't the book just say her children rise up and do what? Now, what if your children rise up and say, hey, such and such? What if your children look at you like, that's my mom, I guess. You know what some children don't fool with their mom? At a young age, too. I ain't talking about grown. I'm talking about 7, 8, 9 years old. They already know that my mama raggedy. But you know what I'm talking about? My mama raggedy. My mama just raggedy. Then they say her husband praise her. You know what one thing about it, right? They talk, you notice right this here, right? You see Gucci Man, he praises his wife all the time, don't he? You know why? I heard a woman say, why didn't they just love, you only love your wife for what she do? Well, what else you supposed to love her for, huh? But that's what these women get on the internet and claim they don't like women. You only like her. This woman literally told me, she say, man, every man should want to be around his wife 24/7. I say, man, I don't want to be around my wife 24/7. I don't want to be around nobody 24/7. I say, hell, I don't want a woman who will want to be around a nigga 24/7. You don't even want time for yourself? Just you? You want to see me and look at me all the time? She said, well, most men who say that, they only like their wife for what she do for him. Well, if she don't do nothing for me, what the hell she there for? Like, that don't even make sense. Oh, you only like her for you. Who will love you for what you do? Not just, oh, I love you. He said he loved those that love him, and if you love him, you're going to do what? Keep his commandment, so he love you for what you do. What's wrong with y'all? You know what I'm saying? Guess what? My mama, she what that nigga say? Hold on now. You's gonna get me in trouble. My parents, they give me sleeps, they give me eats. You know what I'm talking about? What you talking about? What you think a nigga supposed to love? He loves me for me. Everybody love people for what they do for him. And if you say different, you lying. You're lying to yourself. I ain't talking about you lying to me. You're lying to yourself. You really gonna love a woman, she don't do nothing for you? She don't do nothing for you. I love her for her, you know. I just love to be around her, this, that, and the third. What she do for you, brother? Oh, she don't do nothing, but I just love her. You're a jackass. Yeah, something is wrong with you. Of course, a woman gonna sit back and say, I love my husband. He pay the rent. I ain't gotta pay it. I love that nigga for that. And guess what? She ain't wrong. You know what I'm talking about? That nigga buy the food. I hit the switch, the lights on. I crank my car up, gas in it. You know what niggas trip me out? You supposed to take your old lady car to the gas station and fill it up. The hell I ain't. That nigga know how to drive. Nigga to my Sunday, you got to be, but that's because most people, I don't know where that come from. I'm not going out here telling me, let me take your car and detail it, this, that, and the third. Nigga, you know how to go to the detail shop. Nigga, I got things to do. I ain't got time to do that. I don't even know where that comes from. When niggas like, you supposed to take your old lady ain't never supposed to put gas in the car. The hell you say? She ain't got to put gas in the car if I'm with her. When she supposed to fill up? She got to wait for me? That nigga gonna be on the side of the road waiting for AAA. You know what I'm talking about? And I ain't saying that to be funny. How am I gonna be with you all the time to put gas in your car?
in the car, if they ain't have one car, yeah.
Shoot, I heard plenty of dudes say that you supposed to take your woman car on a Sunday, fill it up with gas for the week. I don't know how many days they expect that to last, and she driving anywhere. You supposed to take it and get it detailed, this, that, there, and the third. Nigga, if I've been working every doggone day, man, I'm not doing that.
I've seen that. I think that's just talk.
Hey, what we heard a dude say today, Sylvia. Dude say, I'm in a new covenant. I ain't in the old. He say Romans 13 say you got to observe the powers that be. So if my job say I got to go to work on the Sabbath, I got to go. I said, that's the powers that be, brother, your job. I literally heard a man ask the question today. Shayla say she definitely done heard that. Yeah, I'm not taking your car to be washed and detailed and put no gas in it. You want the damn car wash. You know how to go to a car wash. What, I'm supposed to sit up there and waste my day while nigga cleaning your car? But I got things to do. I don't got time to be sitting at the car detail shop with you. Hell, you got mobile detail. They can pull up to the house and do it. Times have changed. I'm not doing that.
I said wait till Sunday.
Like you said, I ain't never seen that. I've lived with both my parents. Like you said, we together, put gas in the car before we go home, but my nigga.
Man, the most you gonna get a fill up for me is, hey, I need some gas money. All right, I'm gonna send it to you. See, back in the day, you couldn't send it to you. You had to get that before you left the house. You damn right I'm gonna work them churn. I got churn, I ain't washing no dishes. Nigga talk about the husband ought to wash the dishes. What the hell the churn gonna do? I'm not washing no damn dishes. I got churn in here. Hell, I had to wash them. Them niggas finna wash. I ain't sweeping and mopping no floor. That's what them churn finna do. They gonna clean everything in this hole. Everything. They gotta earn their key. Hell, you mean? Why the husband don't do all this here? Because I got these damn churn in here. That's why. Hell else they gonna do? They eating up all my damn food. Niggas grow so fast and keep buying them damn shoes and clothes. They using up all my lights. Pissing on my bedclothes. Jumping up and down on beds. Yeah, that nigga finna scrub the walls, brush the baseboards, every goddamn thing. That's the least they can do. And if you ain't making your churn work, you crazy in the head. Them niggas ought to be working. Make them earn they keep, nigga. I'm talking about all the stuff in the house you don't want to clean. That's what they for. Give them a duster, baby. Get the baseboards for your mama now. You know what I'm saying? Get that duster and dust some TV. Break my TV if you want to. All y'all grew up like this. I don't know why you don't do your churn like this. All y'all grew up like this. Every last one of y'all, your people put you to work. With no hesitation. Some of y'all got memories, as they say, well, I ain't live like that. So gospel music coming on. You knew what was finna happen. You knew what was finna happen. You dreaded it. You hated it. No, but you know how some people say black folks on that Saturday morning, mom do cutting on that gospel music. You know what's going down.
Oh, no, I know that. I'm just saying, Saturday, the house is already clean. That was for errands.
Definitely. But I already told you that there. If you got to take a day to thoroughly clean your house from top to bottom, that means she ain't cleaning. I hear we women tell me, I'm tired of picking up behind these men. I say, have you ever been in a house with a woman? Women drop clothes on the floor too when they don't live with nobody. Don't let them lie to you now. They'll drop drawers and panties and dress all on the floor. Ain't nobody here. Nobody gonna see it. But if you're a grown man, boy, you just drop your clothes in the middle of the floor, man, on a regular basis. Come on, bro.
Why we couldn't get a dishwasher?
She said, because you the dishwasher.
She said, I got 3 of them. We looked, she said, I have a dishwasher. And then she looked, she said, matter of fact, I got 3 of them. And that's when we realized she's talking about us.
Now, don't get me wrong, bro. I know sometimes you could take off some clothes and then you forget it. But I ain't never known dude. Well, I never lived with a lot of dudes, so I don't know. I ain't no dudes just took their clothes off and just threw them in the middle of the floor and left them.
I hear stories. I never seen that in my people.
I don't know. I've never done it. Like sometimes you'll be like, dang, I'd be like, damn, because I forget stuff. Because I've been and did something and then went to go do something else and forgot. But just like, oh, I just take my dirty clothes off and throw them anywhere. I ain't never done that. That's what a damn hamper for. Hell, I can't just throw my clothes up. My hamper is in the laundry room. You know what I'm talking about? So that's not even going to happen. My hamper's not even in my room. So that means for me to do that is just utterly insane. I literally have, and this nigga tell you, every doggone day, nigga, I come in here and my clothes go straight in that hamper. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about take my dirty clothes off. She going to put them in there. For what? That doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? She said, I've been telling the kids that all week, and they felt the wrath by not taking it seriously when Will came home. They needed, you doggone right, they need to be responsible for something. I give you sleeps and eats, nigga. You want some treats? Nigga, wash the dishes, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Do something with your life, boy. I told you, boy, my granddaddy had me working at 5. I'm talking about Joanne clean up good, too. She know exactly what's going on. She ain't even 2 yet. I'm work that nigga. That nigga work. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get no lazy wife from around here. That nigga gonna work. She got it right. Exactly. That nigga look you in your face and throw something on the floor. You a lie from hell. She don't go pick it up and put it where it go. Lying to me. She said Chris said I had to cut grass growing up if my brother or dad wasn't around. Yeah, I didn't know here women ain't supposed to cut grass. Shoot, that nigga at work, get lawnmower, gonna cut it. Everybody outside. I told you I ain't grow up with that. The women don't take the trash out. You're lying to me. My mama sent me to the dumpster. She sent Muffin to the dumpster. But I already told you, if you only rolling the trash can out to the curb, or you can walk trash to the backyard and put it in the trash can, you ain't took no trash out. You know what I'm talking about, Nick? I done took trash out. That's when you got to be like, damn, I got to go outside and it's cold outside and you got to walk to the dumpster. That's taking trash out. If all you got to do is go out the back door and drop it in the container, you just a lazy bastard. Get your funky behind them and take that goddamn trash out. You ain't doing nothing, rolling nothing on no curb. Nigga used to dread the pit. Boy, in Sundance, nigga, the dumpster at the front. Nigga, that's a hump, nigga. Man, people had so much trash back there because nigga don't, if you stayed in the back, man, that's a walk. Yeah, that's a walk. They had a trash compactor. They just got the front. We lived in the back. Nigga hate that job.
You going down the field, this trash all spread out where they gonna put it on the top of the car and forgot about it.
And forgot about it. Cause don't nobody want to walk up there with that. Come on, let's finish this here, man. Many daughters have done virtuously. This is Proverbs 31:29. But you excel them all. Favor, deceitful, beauty, vain. A woman fear Yahuwah, she shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands. Let her own works praise her in the gate. That means what you do ought to praise you. If you ain't doing nothing, you don't get no praise. You think you get some praise because you got coochie cleaning and chicken? That ain't no praise, baby. It's only praiseworthy if ain't nobody else had it. If somebody else had it, that ain't nothing to be praised. You ain't doing nothing but cooking some food because you eating too. No, but you know a lot of people, I cook. Well, baby, you got to eat too. So you ain't did nothing special because you did that. You hungry too. Come on, man. Where you at, man? I just went through that in verse 13 when it said to be idle. You can't say you a virtuous woman and you're sorry. I'm just telling you, that's what the book say. That's not my personal opinion. Take it up with you if you don't like it. None of my business. Read verse 13 one more time, First Timothy.
And with all they learn to be idle,
wandering
about from house to house,
not only idle,
but tattlers.
You run your damn mouth too much.
Also in busybodies,
speaking things
which they ought not.
Stop talking about stuff that don't pertain to you. Tell them what a tattler is, man. This is what he said that a widow woman do. Y'all niggas married and doing it.
That's fuaros. That is a person's uttering or doing silly things, garrulous babbling of things foolish, trifling, vain. A garrulous person.
You babble about trifling and vain things. You're talking about nothing. Tell them what a busybody is.
It's periergos. That's busy about trifles and neglectful of important matters.
You're neglectful of what's important.
Busy about other folks' affairs.
You're too busy about other folks' affairs. You don't know how to mind the business that pays you because you ain't got nobody that pays. Ain't no godly woman supposed to be doing that. You're going to read because he said if you behave this way, you're going to cause the word of Elohim to be blasphemed. You don't think that's a reproach unto you? Come on with it, man. He said, I will therefore, this is verse 14 of 1 Timothy 5.
That the younger woman marry.
Do what?
Marry.
And do what?
Bear children.
And what else?
Guide the house.
Guide the house don't mean she rule the house. That means she handles household affairs. Ain't that's what you just seen in Proverbs 31? Mm-hmm. So now you got scripture to back up why he telling you this. The stuff with the idol, you got scripture to back up why he was telling you this. Because it's not what godly women do. Now, if you don't want to be a godly woman, then everything we've been talking about, it don't matter. But if you profess to be a woman of Kadash, a woman of the faith, a woman from the lineage of Rachel, of Leah, of Sarah, and of Eve, this is how you got to behave. Because remember, he say, look under the hole which you were hewn. He say, look under Sarah who bare you. Yeah, man. The same way he say, you say you have Abraham to your father. As a woman, you supposed to be looking at the mothers who's in their book. You know what I'm talking about? And see how they behave. Remember, we did a whole time period about that, looking at every righteous woman in this book. You know what I'm saying? So that the ladies could see the conduct that they were to mirror. Because we talk about what the men supposed to do. Anytime we preach Mashiach, we talking about what the men supposed to do. Because I know so, well, what about what the men are supposed to do? Baby, every time we preach the word, we talking about what the men are supposed to do. We talking to the men first. What am I talking to the women for? But sometimes you got to isolate only because, it's not really talked about on a regular basis of the just women who in this book. Just like Mother Sharona just mentioned, the peg in the tent. You know what I'm saying? You remember the lady who murdered the nigga with the tent, slid him some milk? She pulled a gangster move. She did what needed to be done at that particular time. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about her too. We didn't talk about every righteous woman in this book. But you got to remember, praise be to Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Definitely. Because we done talk about a lot of things in this book. And talking about the righteous women in this book, we done that several times. Because y'all need to see that so you know who to model yourself after. You know what I'm talking about? You look like a woman like Sarah, like Abraham's wife. That's a different caliber of woman. You look at Rachel, that's a different caliber of woman. Now, you don't talk too much about Leah, but you know what Leah had going on. She wanted to be loved by a man who did not want her. Which was not her fault. You know what I'm talking about? But Yahuwah did that for a reason, to show you to sit back and look at the behavior and conduct to get the love from your husband, if you would. But that's a whole nother conversation that we're not finna have this evening. You know what I'm talking about? But go ahead, man.
It said, guide the house, give no occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
Stop giving Satan the opportunity to speak dishonorably about how you behave. See, that's what I go to talking about when you're dealing with women who talk about a sisterhood, because in that y'all not holding each other accountable to that level of degree. The older women will hold you to that level of degree because they have enough experience to know what can happen about how you behave, how I can call you who to be dishonored. You know what I'm saying? That's why I would think younger women, y'all not going to hold each other accountable enough to say, baby, you need to guide the house. Why you don't love your husband and love your children? Why you not modest? Why you lazy? Most of y'all is not going to look at each other and say, you a lazy heifer. Y'all usually not going to do that. Y'all already know. Some of y'all got them in your family where your grandmama or your mama will look you dead in your face and talk about how lazy and sorry you is while you sitting right there and she talking to somebody else telling them how sorry you is. And you be like, well, I am in the room. I know you're in the room. You said that like I ain't know you was sitting here. I don't care if you heard it. Nigga, didn't I already tell you this? I'm telling your grandma, look at this lazy hoe over here. I can't believe I didn't raise her like this. She telling your grandma about how sorry you is. She sitting here like she disrespecting the family. See, y'all ain't even got women in your family who will look at you like you disrespecting our family. You know what I'm saying? I didn't raise you like this. I'm not that kind of woman. Your grandma ain't that kind of woman. Now, your aunties, they're different. I ain't got nothing to do with them. Because everybody got one auntie, she ain't about nothing. You feel what I'm talking about? Depending on how many siblings you got. You might look out and everybody be solid, but if it's a lot of siblings, you might have one auntie and one uncle. That nigga ain't about nothing. They don't do nothing. They just like, they a lost cause. Don't nobody talk about it or nothing. It just is what it is. You can't win them all. You know what I'm talking about? You got to know that. You know, if you got multiple children, you got to know you can't win them all. If you do win them all, praise God, you're blessed. But it's going to be one that falls through the cracks, and you just let it go. Yeah, you just let it go. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to talk about it. We all know what's going on. It ain't no need to talk about it. You know what I'm talking about? She said, I remember being taught to wash cotton diapers and not play. See, Mother Sharona comes from a different time. Some of y'all done bought them cotton diapers. They better for the baby's butt. You know what I'm talking about? But the aspect of washing boo-boo every day, it's tough.
You stopped at the toilet.
Huh?
You stopped at the toilet with cotton out.
Oh, I wouldn't recall.
You know,
She said, you know.
you see my mom with boo-boo in, and she would dump it in the toilet to get the boo-boo out, and then we had a pail, and you took the diaper off and went to the bathroom and called yourself doing that, and then you flushed the toilet, and the diaper went down and stopped the toilet.
Oh, well, I just did what Joanne be doing. She just mimicked. That's what y'all doing, I'm going to do it too. Because when I went to mop, that's why she came back yesterday. When I was mopping that truck, she went to go get the mop. To try to come back and mop the truck also. Because she ran back and looked, she said, I know what he's doing. I'll be right back. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man. She said, old Southern school. Yeah, I already know. In the South, you know, that's what they did in them times, you know. But I understand why people don't do it. She said, let's not start on women not breastfeeding. Oh, Mother Sharona ready to take off. Mother Sharona ready to take off. We're going to let that be what it be. Lee said, I love cloth diapers. Yeah, I wouldn't know. So D just backed up. I believe I've heard Lee say something about cloth diapers from time to time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they much easier, they cheaper. Because you ain't got to keep buying them. You know what I'm saying? You know, regular diapers are for convenience. But I will say this here, and I already knew this here, and obviously from watching her do it with Joanne. You know, breastfeeding is a fool. You got to be committed to that. You know what I'm saying? Most women that don't end up being committed. He said, not. I said the cat. That's what Shayla said. You got to be committed to that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women don't end up being, and I can understand because you're not raised to be committed to it. You're not taught how important that is. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, some people just don't have the time for it. You know what I'm saying? At least, or some people just don't want to do it.
I would say that it's a combination.
Scrub boards and clotheslines. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's different because I know it's different for women. You know what I'm saying? I remember Lisa mentioned that, like her people talking about, oh, you're not a woman if you don't vaginally deliver. And I know some women look at you funny if you don't vaginally deliver. And I know some women look at you funny if you don't breastfeed. I can't do that because I'm not a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because shoot, I don't know what it's like to have somebody depending on me for sustenance, literally. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, you got to be committed to that. So you got to understand what you're committing to when you say, I'm going to breastfeed. Don't be complaining about it if you're going to commit it to it. Just handle your business. That's what people really get upset. You doing something and you complaining about it. Don't nobody want to hear that.
I feel like people do that more so because when they get difficult, you got to weather it. You definitely got to weather it.
Shoot. That's life.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Shoot. Life get difficult. You know what I'm saying? But I understand because y'all more expressive about what bother y'all versus man be like, it bothered me, but you know what? Let's talk about it gonna do. I still got to do it. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and do it. That's what we was out there today. Man, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I say, well, nigga, if you can't breathe, you ain't got to go back in there.
Who was saying that?
Rico today, that's like this here. He steady to my man, I can't breathe. We steady in there doing, we ain't even on the side with the mold. I say, bro, ain't nobody said nothing about you had to go in there if you can't breathe, bro. Man, that nigga went back in the house and worked harder than everybody. He didn't even come back out the door. He just say, man, I think he just wanted to hear you say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, why is you steady complaining, bro? If you feel like you can't breathe, don't go in there.
You already knew that from yesterday.
That's my.
Like, nigga already, like, bro, we know it's a house of molded. Can't nobody be in here for too long.
But listen, we wasn't even on the side with the mold. I'm telling this nigga, like, bro, this is a concrete block house. Mold can't get in concrete. The mold is on the add-on structure. These people literally put an add-on structure over the back door. So they actually built another bedroom and a laundry room and a roof over the back door. If we were to go over there to Muffin House, you'll see it because it's on their street. You know what I'm saying? The house that we were trashing out is on their street. You know what I'm saying? But the house is concrete block from here. The front door is on Green Fern side. But the where we had to come in the house is on Overhill side. So when you come in the house, you'll see the roof is caved in. But when you walk up to the steps, it's concrete steps with a metal railing. So you already know that this is not an interior, you know what I'm saying, type of deal. So the mold is in an add-on room with a laundry room. So they literally built a whole nother room and roof over the back door. John was wild. She said it's easier than warming formula at 8 a.m. Nisha said sometimes it's about the ability to do it because I couldn't actually latch on Harlem on the breast. I did pump for 11 months straight, which is very hard. But some women don't even produce it. Now, I remember her talking about that. That's a little different. But some women can't produce milk for some reasons. And then some women can't produce milk because their diet's trash. You know what I'm saying? Because usually if your diet is trash, that's why you can't produce breast milk, because who made you to produce breast milk? You know what I'm saying? So your body this is a natural function. It's inclined to do it. You know what I'm talking about? So if you find yourself as a woman struggling to produce milk, you might want to look at your diet and look at what you're consuming. Look at if you drink enough water. And I'm not saying that to ridicule, I'm just saying because that's the truth. Because if you look at a man and he got low tests at a young age, and he ain't producing semen like he's supposed to, his fourth is to be able to produce children, he might want to look at his diet. His diet might be trash. Because that's affecting his hormones. You know what I'm saying? So that's a serious deal. You say facts, you got to drink a lot of, and definitely, Jay, you already know.
It's different now. When I had you.
Okay, Muffin says she know what house I'm talking about. Yeah. That house right there by the stop sign at Green Fern and Overhill. That house right there. You know what I'm saying? I think what it was green. Whatever it was, yeah.
Whatever the add-on was trash.
Yeah, the add-on was horrible.
That's like I said, that's where everything caved in.
No, that's why it was condemned, because there's nothing wrong with the actual structure of the house. The add-on was condemned. Yeah, because we weren't supposed to be inside the house. The actual house, I mean, a concrete block house, man, unless there's something wrong with the brick, you know what I'm talking about? That house gonna stand. Oh, Muffin say, yeah, the city sign been on there for a while. Jay said there's still a lot of fear mongering around breastfeeding as well. You know, the fear mongering with breastfeeding because they don't want y'all to do it.
They didn't encourage it when I had you. They just assume you go bottle feed and they give you the shot to drag the milk.
Damn.
When Kiana was born, Big Moore had started moving towards encouraging women to breastfeed again.
Yeah, you know, breastfeeding is better. Number one, it builds the bond from the hormonal aspect. That's why y'all children stick to y'all real close like that when you breastfeed them, because y'all done bonded in a fashion that a man can never bond with that baby. You know what I'm talking about? Because I think to say the same the hormone that's released between two people through sexual intimacy is released from the woman in regards of breastfeeding. And then of course all the nutrients that the breast milk give that formula milk can't give. That's why I think a lot of these children now are stupid.
Yeah, I mean, but that was their plan. Because that's what I listened to that on the podcast when Nestor came out with the formula. They did same how they do with the opium. They did deals with the hospital.
Yes, push the formula. We need this money.
And they push people to get it and not the breastfeed.
Yeah, because if you giving them titty milk, we ain't making no money.
And then some people even got their kids malnourished because they was trying to stretch the milk so much because they couldn't actually afford it and they had missed the time period for their milk to reproduce.
That's tough. Hold on, man. Mother Sharon said, I was struggling, but my mom told me not to give up. The more the baby suck, the more milk come out. I believe it. What's the last thing we got over there, man? I think that's about it. Oh, Reverb 15.
You say, for some already turned aside after Satan, If any man or woman that believe have widows, let them relieve them.
He said, if any man believe to have widows, let them who?
Relieve them.
That means that's your responsibility. And let not
the assembly be charged
that it may relieve them
that are widows indeed.
He said, let the body, let the family take care of that before you bring that to us. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of people don't want to talk about that. The system to take care of people said, because it shouldn't be the body of believers' responsibility to take care of your mama or your grandmama. If you a believer, that should be your responsibility. You know what I'm talking about? But let's come over here to something else, man. I didn't want to hit that because we talked about some of this stuff Wednesday, and I felt like it was only right that we did it again. So what I want to do is I want to come to Proverbs 15, I believe. And I want us to pick it up. You can start at verse 1. I really want verse 4, but it's all good. But I don't think I got that page in this book. Let me see. I don't. Come on with it. Hold on, Mother Trying to say it's a miracle because a woman's body loses weight. I did know that. I did see that. I told Dita I didn't know that y'all burn exponentially more calories breastfeeding than not breastfeeding. I thought it was amazing. No, I'm talking about the level of calories. I think it said like a woman burns like 600 to 700 calories each time she breastfeeds.
That's why I can be tired.
Absolutely.
It also helps the uterus go back in place.
That's amazing. Now I say that because obviously that means Yahuwah set a natural system in place to allow y'all to lose weight by doing this here versus I can see why so many women may gain weight by not breastfeeding because you're not participating in the natural function that Yahuwah gave to help you shed that weight.
You gotta eat a lot. So if you ain't burning nothing right,
Eating, right. That's gonna be tough too.
one thing about it, you make it home.
No, that's what he's just talking about. Because if you burning 600 to 700 calories like that, absolutely. And that's why I could see why you would be tired and things of that. Like, man, you understand like this here, man? Because if you're burning 1,000 calories breastfeeding, that means those are active calories, not resting calories. You know what I'm talking about?
Ari was getting breast milk every 3 to 4 hours.
That means you burning about almost 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day. Oh yeah, you're gonna be hungry. Ain't no way. You know what I'm talking about?
You're gonna be tired.
You're gonna be, I mean, shoot, I understood. I mean, I ain't never had no thoughts on it like, oh, this nigga tired and hungry. I just was amazed, like, hey, I mean, because if you don't know, you'd be like, because some dudes would be like, man, she always eating and she tired. I ain't had no thoughts about it because it just didn't cross my mind. But when I seen that women burn that many calories, I was like, well, shoot, I'd be tired too. Yeah, that's a lot of calories. You know what I'm talking about? On the active tip, that's a lot of calories, bro. Burning 700 calories, you're not gonna feel that. You know what I'm talking about? I done did work and workouts combined that burn 700 calories, nigga. That is taxing. You know what I'm talking about? 7 times. You know what I'm saying? They took all the life force from her. Yeah, she said, yeah, getting that body ready. She said, my baby fat fell off like crazy. See, when they don't be breastfeeding, then you sitting around eating, because you know what I'm talking about? Now you looking like the Michelin man. You know what I'm talking about? And you want them to still love you. You look like a beach ball.
Breastfed babies are usually a little heavier than non-breastfed babies.
Oh, yeah, I already know. Come on, man. Proverbs 15:1.
So yeah, soft answer, turn away wrath.
Grievous words
Stir up anger.
See, I was listening to a reel. This lady was talking. Dude say, man, you need to rest in your femininity. They were talking about men don't like women who are direct. And I'm like, no, baby, you're aggressive. Anybody said there's no man walking that say he don't like a woman who direct. I don't want to talk to no woman who talking to me like a nigga. But see, this is the thing, right? And I was telling Rico this here when we were listening to it. I say this is what Charleston White was talking about on how most of you women are not ladies. And you know how you know most of women are not ladies? Because like what he said, when there's a lady in the room, men change their behavior. If that nigga pants was sagging, that nigga pull his pants up. You know what I'm talking about? If the nigga was using foul language, they'd be like, hey man, don't talk like that, such and such in here. You know what I'm talking about? The whole way that men conduct themselves changes dramatically when a lady is in the room. And that lady ain't have to say a word. And she can speak directly and get a point across and never be aggressive and this, that, there, and the third. And won't nobody say nothing. See, some of y'all great grandmas was ladies and they spoke directly and got their point across and never raised their voice. You know what I'm talking about? Never raised a decibel or nothing because she had class, regalness, femininity, and humility. So she was respected. And this ain't something that was respected by men who knew her. Men respect women, period, whether they know her or not. So if you notice that men will act like niggas on a regular basis in your presence, it's because you're not a lady. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's just that simple. You're not a lady. If men don't sit back and say, hey, man, you better tighten up. There's such and such in there. Oh, you're not a lady. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think, man. And every man know this here. Like she just said that reminded of her grandma. Every man know this here. Women like that don't exist no more. They dead. You know what I'm talking about? They dead. They dead or old. Ain't too many women in their 20s like that at all. Well, sit back and look at, come on, bro, it's a lady in the room. Don't talk like that. Because you talking like that, ho. Y'all think that John cool. I'm just trying to tell you. You using verbiage that men use. Ain't nobody going to look at you like no lady. You smoking cigarettes, call a nigga bro and bruh and all this other type of stuff. Let me tell you something, man. You around here drinking whiskey and bourbon. Look here, man. Ladies don't even use foul language. Ladies don't even use language that could be considered to be foul. It's disrespectful to her lips. She ain't gonna be like, nigga, go to hell. She ain't gonna talk like that. She ain't even gonna say damn. She's not gonna use any language or verbiage that would make you look at her as if she was a less than classy woman, because to maintain regality and class is the most important thing to her, because she wants you to know that you're in the presence of a lady every time you come in contact with her. Every single solitary time. And honestly, I know people be paying for femininity classes and that's cool. It's too late for you if you're grown, baby. If your mama didn't, grandma ain't give it to you when you were young, you ain't gonna get it. Because you ain't gonna want to change to become that. You're too damn old. You know, I done been told you this. The most disgusting and vile thing you'd ever want to see is a woman who curses. You know what I'm talking about? You walk around here cussing all the time. You ain't no lady. Don't no lady talk like that. Because she don't want to get lumped in like she one of the homeboys. Like, what you talking like that for? Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. That's like this. We think that's cool, man. Hood chicks talking like that. That's not a lady, man. A lady is class. See, when women go to talk about a soft life, them the women who would get that, a lady. See, whores and scallywags want what's reserved for ladies. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just being honest with you. That's reserved for ladies.
They always told us that you don't use that kind of language in mixed company. And I noticed the generation behind me started doing it. And it's just gotten worse.
Well, these women in this generation, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care what men think. They don't care what men want. They the ones that came up and say, take me as I am, or this, that, there, and the third. I don't want that. They heard Mary J. Blige, take me as I am, or take nothing at all. I'll take nothing at all for $500, Alex. Ain't nobody took her. Yeah, nobody don't want that. Well, I'm trying to say truthfully, my grandma could call you off such a calm and reserved fashion, you wouldn't even know you was being disrespected. And that's true, because that's what a lady gonna do. A lady will disrespect you dead in your face, and you'd be like, did she just?
Yeah, you gotta catch it. That's why I said everybody
I'd be like, well, damn, this nigga just cussed me out, and she ain't even cuss.
She ain't yell or nothing.
She ain't yell or nothing. That's what a lady does. But I'm telling you though, all jokes aside, when a lady is in the room, men's behavior change. And they don't have to want to have sex with her or nothing. See, a lot of ladies think, I got on modest clothes, they treat me different. No, they still treating you the same, baby. They may not be coming at you directly for the monkey first, but guess what? You can put on modest clothes, you just a hoe with modest attire. They already gonna know. You can't fake being a lady. You can't fake that. You either are a lady or you're not. You know what I'm saying? There's no faking being a lady. It's no faking it. You know what I'm talking about? And it's a way that you carry yourself. It's a thought process. It's not the clothes that you wear. It's not the shoes that you got on. It's a level of class, humility, and like I said, and regalness that a woman move with, which is not taught in this particular society. That's why so many women lack it. Y'all been taught to be holy. That's why I told you look at her, like I said, the best person I could describe, though, we don't know her personally, but you could see that with her television character, was Felicia Rashad character on the Cosby Show. That was a woman who exuded, she never raised her voice. Do you know what I'm talking about? She was always direct in her verbiage. And anytime people came in contact with her, they straightened up and amended their behavior no matter how they lived. When they were in her presence, they changed and comported themselves to be respectful and honorable men while they were in her presence because her femininity demanded it. And she didn't have to utter a word because they already knew, man, you can't do that. That's the same way they like, you can't cuss in front of grandma. You can't cuss in front of my mom. It's different. I'm not saying that to belittle nobody. I'm just telling you the difference on how we've been raised. You understand what I'm telling you? That's all I'm talking about. That's what I be meaning in a certain area when I say our families done failed us, because we already know the men don't know how to be men, but the women don't know how you gonna be a woman and your mama was a hoe? Your mama a concubine. How you gonna be? Your mama don't know who your daddy is. How she gonna teach you to be a lady? She ain't nobody told her to be a lady. Or if they taught her, she rejected it. Look here, ladies don't walk around here showing their body off. They don't want nobody to see that. Not because they weren't about men need to control themselves. Their level of self-respect and self-esteem is so high that I don't need to come out the door looking like that. Looking like that for what? That's not the attention that I want to garner. It's even worse if you dress like that and you got a man. You want outside attention from other people? Come on, man. Come on, man. Where the honor at? Then we godly and you think you can still bring that nigga stuff in God's house. Better leave that nigga stuff in Niggerville where you got it from. Don't bring that in the house of God. He don't want it. Come on, man. Proverbs 15:2.
Say the tongue of the wise use knowledge aright,
but fools
pour out foolishness.
The eyes of Yahuwah
in every place,
beholding
evil in the good,
a wholesome tongue,
a tree of life,
perverseness,
therein a breach in the ruach.
Now I want you to tell them what a wholesome is, man, because that's the first thing we want to talk about if we talk about a tree of life. Marpay, that's to bring health. So he said a tongue that speaks health. Now remember, we just were talking about the virtuous woman. They say on her tongue was the law of what? So there was mercifulness there. There was compassion there. And of course, you're dealing with mercy and compassion. You're going to be dealing with that which is healthy, a repairing thing, if you would. He said a healthy tongue or words that speak health or healing is as a tree of life. What does the text say the tree of life is? Let's just swing over here to Revelation 22 and 1, and let's see how the text describes how the tree of life is.
And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street and on either side of the river, the tree of life, which bare 12 fruits and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree for the healing of the nation.
It was for the what?
Healing of the nation.
It was for the what?
Healing of the nation.
And of course, if you see that in Ezekiel 47:12, we go back and look at it, it's going to be Marpay. So it's for the health of mankind. So when you're dealing with what a wholesome tongue is, you know what I'm talking about? It's for the health. That's why it's described or ascribed in the same area as what? The tree of life. You understand? Now it said a perverse tongue is a what?
Breaching the ruach.
Now tell them what perverseness is.
Salef, crookedness, perverseness, crooked dealing.
Crooked words. Now tell them what breach is.
That's shabur, a breaking, a fracture.
A separation, a fissure. So crooked words get you separated from God. Healthy words get you healing, like the tree of life, because the tree of life is for the healing of the what? The nations. And this tree will cause you to do what? Live forever. Now, before we go any further, let's go to Proverbs chapter 3. And I want you to start at verse 1. And we're gonna work our way down through a lot of verse. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it because there's too many places. I might send you a couple places. You know what I'm talking about? And that's how we feeling. Because I want you to go ahead and set this up. Understand? I just dealt with the aspect of the woman part because I knew it would play into what we're gonna deal with. You understand? But then I just wanted you to also understand the aspect of what it is to be a godly woman. See, one of the aspects where a lot of people get caught up at is Yahuwah can show you somewhere where you're deficient. And instead of sitting back looking at where I could be better at, you'll get mad at the person preaching the word for saying it. Feeling like as if this person was speaking directly to you when it wasn't the person who was preaching the word that was speaking to you. The word was pricking your heart and Yahuwah was speaking to you. And that's who you're upset with. But you can't take that anger out on him. So you want to take it out on the anger of the person who is speaking on his behalf. You know what I'm talking about? And we can't see one thing I've noticed with a lot of women, it's a minority of women who are the opposite of this, is most women do not have the desire to put in the work to be the best version of themselves day by day. You know what I'm talking about? Now, men, for the most part, they get told quite regularly that you're going to have to continually grind and work to be the best version of yourself. Now, I was telling somebody this earlier today, a lot of men buckle under the pressure of that burden of performance. So when you see a lot of dudes, people like, oh, he's a deadbeat, he's this, that, there, and the third. Now, like I said, some niggas is just bums. But when you go to talking to some of these young men, man, and you wondering why they got to that point, it's because the pressure of bettering yourself every day was more than they could bear. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm not saying that is right. I'm not saying that is wrong. I'm saying that that's the reality of life, that some people ain't that strong. And I'm not going to look at him as he's any less than a man because he couldn't handle it. Because 99.9% of the time, he wasn't raised with the mindset to be able to handle it. So when the pressure of the burden of performance came, he crumpled under it because he was never trained to be able to persevere through it to begin with. You understand? See, women don't understand it because you're not a man. So you you could be like, I'm tired of paying all these. Like you hear women crying all day about these bills. I'm tired of this stuff. It ain't right. You don't hear men crying about that because they can't, because it's already been told from the day that they were born that this is the burden that you're going to have to carry. See, a woman knows there could come a point in time where she could meet a man and he could take that burden away from her. As the doggone reel I put out there the other day, the day a boy realizes that nobody is coming to save you is the day that he becomes a man. Because a man would turn around. I heard him say the other day. He said, man, ain't nobody helped me do nothing in the last 8 months. Because you already know there's a man, ain't nobody coming. Now, if you got, of course, you know you can have people in your circle that's going to help you. But in reality, what you already know is as a man, it's on you. And nobody's coming to pick that up. I seen a real world woman talking about it takes like jealousy to me because a dude was like, how come every time your parents call you and offer you something, you take it? And all the people in the comments going crazy because he told her she was spoiled. But see, this is the point. Most dudes can't articulate themselves properly. So I knowing that if he's calling this woman spoiled, he probably calling her spoiled in the advent of, because your people give you whatever you want it, whether you ask for it or not, you're going to expect me to do it. And I'm not going to do that because I'm not your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Your daddy love you. That's why he'll give you something you ain't asked for. You got to earn it with me. Now, me personally, because he was like, dude, say, I don't want my woman getting outside stuff from nobody. You're a jackass. Because if my wife is moving about and her mama call and say, baby, I'm at Costco, you want something? I'm not going to be like, well, you took that from your mama. Clearly, while she was there, you was on her mind and she wanted to do something for you. It's not taken away from my manhood because your mama called you because he said, I can't get nobody to do that for me. Well, that's a personal problem. You know what I'm saying? For me as a man, that's not going to bother me. If my old lady daddy called her and say, hey, I'm at such and such, you want something? Nigga, that's his child, nigga. What's wrong with you? Somebody talking about that's what generational wealth is. I said, that's why niggas poor. That's not generational wealth. That's a nigga at Costco. That's a nigga at Costco, man. Niggas don't even know what generational wealth is. That's not generational wealth. Your mama bought you some toilet paper. That's insane. But I bet a nigga won't say that if your mom, if one of the either parents called and say, I'm at the store, I want to get something for the kids. You ain't gonna be talking, oh, you took that from them. Nigga, what's wrong with you? Nigga, if my daddy was alive and he called me and like, son, I'm at such and such, man, you want something, man? I got something for you, boy. No, daddy, I don't want that. I'm a man. Such a stupid behind up, nigga. What's wrong with these niggas, man? Like, it didn't make sense to me. She talking about that feeling like jealousy to me. I'm like, oh, now you thinking yourself you're a little too more important than what you are. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, at the end of the day, man, why you mad if mama, daddy, granddaddy, grandma on either side calling talking about they want to do something for you? I ain't gonna take it because you're a fool. Shoot, nigga, my mama buy dinner every Saturday night. I ain't gonna be like, no, you can't do that. Hell, you say she live here and eat dinner every other night. Shoot, that's the least you can do. That don't make sense to me. So then, if they riding together and she was like, you know what? I'm finna go to such and such for Publix. You want something? Don't you take that from her. Why are you taking that from her? These niggas are smoking crack. I say that for you men. Don't you be around here looking crazy because your old lady people call her and want to give her something. What you mad for? You threatened by toilet paper? You threatened by toiletries? Hell, if she want to buy a daughter some outfits, what you care for? You ain't had to buy it. Shoot, buy some more. I don't understand. So if your mother-in-law wanted to buy your wife, I mean, you know what I'm talking about? Some clothes, you gonna be mad? Or you bought her some clothes for? I bet you won't say that she want to buy the baby some clothes. You be like, hey, I'll buy 5 more outfits. Come on, man. Stop being stupid, man. We got to do better. You know what I'm saying? As a people, we just in a bad way. You know what I'm talking about? Because I thought that was the most asinine thing that I done heard in a long time. Because she said the dude she was talking to was like, I don't feel like you should take that. Shoot, take it all, nigga. Hell, shoot. I guess that nigga felt like he was singing the difference of Patti LaBelle. Ain't nobody loved him. Patti LaBelle say, somebody love you, baby. Clearly don't nobody love him. Because I ain't mad. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't mad. I ain't going to be mad. Trina and Don call. Yeah, we had such and such. Shoot. You ain't got to call me and tell me they got it. I don't give a damn. What that's supposed to bother? Why am I feeling threatened by that? That don't make no sense. So what, because she got married, her parents ain't supposed to care about it no more? Screw that nigga. We grown. They out the house. No, man, y'all crazy as all outdoors, man. What's wrong with y'all? I ain't talking about y'all specifically, but clearly it's niggas walking around here thinking like that. Jay say, man, my wife's friends bought my baby so much. See, that, praise God. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? See, I know what's going on. A lot of dudes be upset because don't nobody love them. Man, ain't nobody gonna do for you like they do for a woman, man. That's just reality, man. She's a woman. She's a woman. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people, it ain't like that. Some people, they daddy solid, boy. If they son needs something, they coming through. Be thankful for that. And not because you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Because your daddy's alive and he can do it. Just be thankful for that. Hell, man, don't be upset around here because people parents doing for them. Because one day their parents ain't gonna be here no more. So be thankful for that. Stop being a pussy. Yeah, you niggas tripping, man. You know what I'm talking about? I just ain't had that thought process. You know what I'm talking about? Like straight up and down, man. Be thankful. Shoot, man, maybe if your parents want, I don't care who parents it is. Somebody want to do something for you that make you feel funny as a man, something wrong with you. I'm trying to tell you, hell, it could have came from nowhere. You upset because uncles and aunties want to do something? What's wrong with y'all? Now, we ain't talking about being no damn leech now. Taking advantage of people. You know what I'm talking about? But come on, man, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I think niggas be mad because they people don't love them. Because I know it's some of y'all on here, man, y'all people coming through if you need them, whether you ask or not. Man, if your people love you, man, and they want to do something for you, man, I'm talking about whether they in the word or not. Just appreciate the fact they love you enough that they were thinking about you. Because some people ain't got nobody who think about it. You know what I'm talking about? To be 100% honest with you. Yeah, you ain't lying, Johnny, man. You ain't lying. Just be happy somebody think about you, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you got people out here ain't nobody think about them. Don't nobody love them? Don't nobody care about them. Don't nobody regard them. So you got to appreciate the people who do. You know what I'm saying? And don't be threatened because you, and if you feeling like you ain't got nobody who love you and you upset that your wife or your husband got people who love, you need to talk about that. You need to sort that out because it ain't good. It ain't good, is it, Civic? I don't think that's good. Now, Civic said it ain't good. It ain't good then. It's confirmed. Civic said it ain't good. Come on, man. Where I got you at?
Proverbs, sir. You said you were going.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I'm reading. My bad. Forget me. Proverbs 3:1. He said, my son, forget not my law, but let your heart keep my instructions. You understand? I want you to come over here to Psalms 37, right? Tell me what verse 28 say. After Psalms 37, give me Psalms 40, man.
Say, for Yahuwah love judgment and forsake not his saints.
Mm-hmm.
They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off.
Cut off.
The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the righteous speak wisdom.
The mouth of the righteous do what?
Speak wisdom.
What else did happen?
And his tongue talk of judgment. The law of his Elohim is in his heart.
Paul, that's what we came there for. The law of Elohim is where?
In his heart.
It's where?
In his heart, none of his steps shall slide.
You got to make sure that word in your heart, man. That's why you won't forget an instruction, because your mind is keeping what he's telling you. You understand? So hold on. There was another place I wanted, man. Now I forgot. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I just told you. Psalms 40. Yeah, Psalms 40 and 6. Psalms 40 and 6. Listen to it.
Say, sacrifice and offering you did not desire. My ears have you opened. Burnt offering and sin offerings have you not required. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book.
It is what?
Written of me.
I come to do your what?
I delight to do your will.
That's right.
Oh, my Elohim. Yeah, your law within my heart.
Your law is where?
Within my heart.
Your law is where?
Within my heart.
Listen again. Where's that law at?
In my heart.
And he told you to make a new heart and a new what? And I get 2 Timothy 3. I mean, not Timothy, my bad. 2 Corinthians 3 and 6. Listen to it. I didn't want you to pay attention to it, man. And fourth is setting this up, because this go back to what we were talking about with the women, man. Because you are that woman to Yahuwah. Go ahead.
Who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament.
Which is what?
Not of the letter, but of the Ruach.
Which is written where?
For the letter kill, but the Ruach give life.
It give life.
But if the ministration of death written.
Back me up to verse 4 then. I might have had y'all killed it. That's my bad. Make it 3.
Yeah, that's 3. Manifestly declared to be the epistle of Mashiach ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the Ruach of the living Elohim.
Where?
Not in tables of stone,
but in what?
Fleshy tables of the heart.
You got to make sure that thing right there, man. You know what I'm talking about? So you can retain it. Because when those wholesome words, which are as a tree of life, that's how they're going to give health to you. See, that's how you keep the fig tree in order to eat the fruit thereof. Is that those healthy words got to be right here. See that if them healthy words ain't right there, that's how the virtuous woman, the Kayil woman, the strong woman, and she's strong because she trusts in Yahuwah, for trusting Yahuwah forever, for trusting Yahuwah is everlasting strength. That's where she get her strength from. So that's how she able to speak with wisdom, and the law, the Torah of kindness is in her heart, because he gonna draw you with loving kindness. See, that's an aspect of a regal feminine woman. It's kindness is in her. See, if you're not a kind woman, you're not a woman, to be 100% honest with you. You know what I'm talking about? Because a woman is supposed to be kind to everybody. Like when you hear women say, I'll be feminine for this type of situation, that's not a woman. Because a feminine woman is a feminine woman regardless of who she's in the presence of. Or femininity is not dictated by the behavior of others. If someone can dictate your femininity, you're not a woman. It's the same way that if someone can dictate your masculinity, you're not a man. If someone can dictate your godliness, you a sinner. Because you're going to be godly no matter who you come in contact with, no matter where you go, no matter what happens. Because outside situations don't dictate inward actual character. You understand? See, when you retain this man's words in your heart and they written upon the fleshly tables of your heart, that is what directs your conduct. So it doesn't matter what's going on around you. It's because you're a godly person regardless. So I'm not godly as long as the people act like this. That means if you godly based off how other people behave, you really a sinner. If you only feminine based off how a man behaves, you really a nigga. If you only masculine based off how a woman behaves, you're really a female. Because that means these people have power over you to dictate how you behave, which means you have no power at all. Because there's no way in the world that another person should dictate your femininity, dictate your masculinity, dictate your godliness. That's an excuse for a sorry, lazy, hypocritical, fake individual. That I am not this person who I'm purporting to be, and I will only pretend to be this if I get the desired thing that I want from this person. Run from a woman like that. You hear a woman say, I'll be feminine, such and such. Don't deal with her. She's not worth your seed or your time, much less your resources. She ain't worth that. You have to be wise enough to know that and slide. See, a wise woman would teach her son that. That's why I would tell you what that lady was going off about her son. She said, you hoes rated E for everybody. She was going off. But I say, my mama didn't go into great detail like that woman did, but that's what my mama told me. What I look like taking these women, I don't know you. Who are you? What you mean I need to take? I don't even know you.
That's what we're talking about. We wasn't talking about it. My friend said that with Michael Jordan Jr. They was like, I put around my son on us.
Yeah, this nigga married a scallywag. How you marry a nigga who played? How you messing with a woman who daddy played with your dad? And then on top of that, she asking your daddy to be the best man. You's a goddamn fool if I ever seen one. Yeah, man, don't be around here teaching your son that old goofy behind junk. You need to do this for a woman, to do that for. You don't need to do nothing for a woman you don't know. You teach your son, you give that woman what she earned. Her beauty ain't enough to get nothing from you. The hopes for having sex with her ain't enough to get something from you. I don't know you. I ain't never seen a woman on earth so beautiful enough that I wanted to step to her and say, please let me spend my money on you so you'll like me. Because that's what you're doing when you step into a woman talking about, I want to take you out. I think you're beautiful. No, I ain't never seen one. And I've never done it in my life. You know what I'm talking about? Absolutely not. I ain't never seen one. I don't even know you. Why would I want to do that? If you wanted to get to know me, we can have a conversation on the phone. You ain't getting to know me over, and this ain't on some old junk. If you broke, just say that. I'm going to break my foot in your behind, nigga. I'm not a damn fool and I ain't a trick. You ain't going to try to shame me to be no goddamn trick. I ain't no trick. Hell you mean? What I need to get to know you for over dinner? That's not how you get to know people. How many people you got to know where you had to go take them somewhere to eat? How many of your friends you took out to dinner to get to know them? Exactly. None. So what the hell I'm taking you somewhere to get to know you for? I don't know you. You don't deserve dinner from me. You ain't done nothing for me. I don't know you. I don't know you. You're not that pretty. And I don't want your body that bad. I promise I don't. When I was young, I told you before, man, this woman looked me in the face, who I used to kick it with, man, and she said, you the only man that ever tell me no. And I looked her dead in the eye, too, and she's a beautiful woman. You know what I'm talking about? I say, man, you ain't that cute, you ain't that fine, I don't want to have sex with you that bad. And nigga, I was 18 years old. You know what I'm talking about? Straight like that. This is 1998. Looked her dead in her face and told her that. Well, 99, I don't think I turned 18 yet. You know what I'm 19 yet. Looked her dead in her face and told her that. And nigga, I love you too. You look out for me, and I appreciate it. But I ain't got no problem telling you no, because you not giving me sex is not going to dictate what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. Because I don't care if I ever have sex with you. I'll never compromise my manhood, my morals, or anything that I stand for an opportunity to have sex with no woman. Absolutely not. I won't do it. I won't teach my son to do it. I won't tell none of you brothers to do it. You a damn fool if you do it. What the hell make you think you that goddamn special? Because you not. Not compromising nothing to have sex with no woman, to have no woman's presence. That's retarded. I maintain my manhood before I relinquish it for the opportunity for sex. That's insane. And we need to tell the young men that. Stop doing it. No, don't do that, man. You gotta love yourself, man. Where your self-respect at? Gotta have some level of self-respect and dignity, man. That's what your whole life is built on, the opportunity for pleasure. You ain't a man if all you think about. If the book say if a woman who live in pleasure is dead while she live, that means what you think gonna be for you as a man? You living for pleasure? You ain't no man, bro. I promise you not. I know a lot of us was raised and taught. I wasn't taught this. You know what I'm talking about? By the men in my life, except for my granddaddy. My granddaddy tried to slide that to me. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. You know what I'm talking about? He ain't really say like a whole bunch of women, but he was definitely trying to slide it to me. But I was too young to really understand what the hell he was talking about, because I was definitely like, I don't know what this nigga talking about. Nigga, I'm 7. You talking about that thing in between your legs just ain't for pissing. This is not registering. Sir, what are you talking about? Because he telling me about some little girl thing. I'm like, nigga, what are you talking about? And why are you telling me this? You know what I'm saying? This is what my mom, I'm like, man, granddaddy crazy. You know what I'm saying? I left that alone. I'm just being honest with you. But as I came of age, no man who I was around, though some of them were living like that, they never told me that my manhood was based on how many women I could conquer. I know a lot of young men are told that their manhood is based on how many women that you can have sex with. Truth be told, man, if you around here trying to have sex with a bunch of women, you a beta male, scent man, John, and a sucker. Because that means you led by your lust. You led by your wood. You can't say you know man when you led by pleasure, and that's what you're seeking after. Because if you're seeking after pleasure, you ain't doing nothing of any importance. Because all you're seeking to do is feel good. You're on the level of a woman and a child. You're not on the level of a leader. You're not on much level, the level of a godly man or a strong man, if all you're thinking about is ejaculating. You can't be consumed with that and look yourself in the mirror and say you a man. That's insane. I've told y'all this plenty of times, man. You're going to spend more time on your feet than in a bed in between a woman's legs. How much time? The amount of time you're going to have sex in your life is going to be minuscule in the amount of time that you're not having sex. You know what I'm talking about? So your mind can't be focused on something that is a small part of your life. Because if your mind is consumed by that, you're never going to do anything of note. You're definitely not going to be able to serve Yahuwah. That's why you hear all these brews arguing about, can you have sex on the Sabbath? Why is your mind even on that? Why is your mind on that? You can't abstain from sex for 24 hours? You that horny, bro? You got bigger problems. You got bigger problems. You married and you looking at porn all the time? Look, I can see if you looked at porn all the time and you was a young man, because your testosterone high. You got a family, you got mood to make, and all you thinking about, bro, you finna go beat your meat, bro. You're 30 years old. You're 35. Why are you doing that? Then you got proof it ain't a sin. Who cares? I ain't even talking about no sin, bumper sin. What's wrong with you, boy?
That's a terrible comeback.
That's what dudes like to say. Where is it at in the law? I don't care nothing about that. Why is you telling this grown man to beat his meat?
I'm about to say that Jesus beat his meat. Like, come on, bro.
Why is you beating your meat? All the time. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Sad, that's the song, ain't it? The song that my daddy was a deadbeat penis slinger. That's what the song is about. A deadbeat penis slinger. This man say wherever he laid his hat, that was his home. That means this nigga was a bum. This man sleeping on couches and futons, man.
When he died, all he left was us
The
alone.
nigga said when he died, he left us dead. How he leave us dead? That means he put the loan in our name.
I don't know if he said alone or a loan.
No, that's alone.
Yeah.
Alone. He left us a debt. So that means he put the loan in our name.
No, alone.
Yeah.
Oh, alone, like by yourself.
Alone.
Well, shoot, it might as well. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, same difference.
He did both.
He did both.
Right, because they probably had to take a loan out
To bury this nigga. That's a sad life, man. Don't be no Rolling Stone, man. Because you know why he was a Rolling Stone? Because he was thinking with his wee-wee. He could never get his life together and get no money because he was thinking about the next time he could ski. Nigga be 45 years old, still staying at their mama house. Talking about, you know, Unc ain't never left the house. He waiting for mama to die so he can get the house. God damn it. Let's keep on. That's sad right there. Yeah, man. At that point, they put a bullet in your head. Cause what you alive for? You ain't doing nothing.
She was mad. They sold that house. That's they do. She was like, I'm mad what she did. It's over.
It's over. It's my mama house. You can't sell my mama house. Watch me sell it.
Right.
I bought it. You gonna tell me what I can't sell and I bought it? I bought this house for my mama, not for your funky behind. Go get you a husband. That's right, you can't get a husband because you're built like Porky Pig. You're disrespectful and rude. God dog it. Man, come on, man. Proverbs 3:2. For length of days and long life and shalom shall they add to you. Now, all jokes aside and all men are seriousness, man. When you keep this man word in your heart, what we just read, he said, the letter kills, Civic, but the ruach do what? So if you got this man words written on your heart, guess what that means you would have? You would have the ruach, which that would not that mean that you would get length of days, long life, and shalom. So if you ain't got no ruach, you ain't got no length of day, life, shalom, or length of day or long life. You going to hell. And when I say hell, I'm talking about Sheol, and then I'm talking about the valley of Tophet. You understand? Let not mercy and truth do what?
Forsake you.
And bind them where?
About your neck.
And write them where?
On the table of your heart.
Ain't that what Paul just said in 2 Corinthians? Mm-hmm. So if you don't let mercy, you say grace and truth came by who? Say the law came by Moses, but grace and truth came by who? Yahushua HaMashiach. See, listen, right? Moses gave you the law, but Moses didn't give you faith and mercy. That's not what he gave you. He didn't give you that. That's what people don't understand when they say that. Man, what do you mean? Yahuwah said gracious and merciful. Long suffering. Say Yahuwah Elohim. Gracious and merciful. Abundant in goodness and truth. Long suffering, forgiving sin and transgression. Moses didn't give you that. Moses gave you law. You know why Moses gave you law? Because that's where Adam took in the garden. So what else was he going to give you? Moses couldn't give you the tree of life because Adam didn't choose that. Adam chose the law, so that's what you got. You know what I'm talking about? So the law, remember we didn't talk about this. He said faith was shut up until the time revealed. That's what he said in Galatians. What did he do with the tree of life? He shut it up, did he not? And then grace and truth got revealed in the time appointed. Yahushua brought you what Moses couldn't give you. Grace and truth give you life. The law can't give you that. You understand how that works? So that's what he mean when he say a wholesome tongue is as the tree of life because it get health. The law can't give you health, son. It wasn't made to. How do you know that? Go back and look at your law. Adam got the law. Did he get health? No, he did not. Does that mean there's something wrong with the law? No, it's not. The law is good. It's Kadash and it's just. It just don't give life. That's it. I don't know why that makes so many brews uptight. Take your boxers out your butthole, man. Unclench your booty cheeks, man, and relax your face. Stop gritting your teeth. Doesn't make the law null and void. It just means that the law can't give you what Yahuwah can give you, dummy. Because you asking the, but we literally heard a man today say, y'all talking about the Sabbath day, you can't keep. You know, every time a brew say can't nobody keep the law, they always talk about sacrifices, man. Why y'all always bring that up? When Yahuwah said clearly in Jeremiah 7, he said, I never told your fathers anything about burnt offerings and sacrifices. That man say, put your flesh up and eat it. He said, I told your fathers, obey my voice. You think that's what the law is about? Why every time brews go to talk about the law, the only thing you niggas want to talk about is some damn sacrifices? Like that's all the law made up of. Why you don't want to talk about the fact the man say don't be no sissy? Don't lay with no woman on a menstrual cycle. Don't hold no grudge. Stop telling her being a talebearer lying on people. Stop running after false judgment. Stop running after a multitude to do evil. Why you don't want to talk about, hey, man, this is what we ought to be doing? Because that's what he's talking about. Oh, man, this man literally said today when he read 1 John 3:9, where the man say he that's born of God don't commit sin. The man say, do you sin? He say, no. He said, I'm going to ask you again, do you sin? He said, well, what do you mean by that? In the flesh or in the spirit? Nigga, what in the hell? What does that even mean? Nigga literally said, he said, yeah, in my flesh I sin, but not in the spirit. I say, man, y'all nigga being so smart, you stupid. All because don't nobody want to stand up and say, nah, I take up my stake daily. I deny myself, I mortify my members, and I don't yield to the flesh because I'm born of the word. And as my God don't sin, I don't sin. And I stand on that. And I don't care if you don't believe it. And I'm not finna stand here and try to justify myself to you, because I'm not going to do like Job did and be righteous in my own eye by trying to justify myself in the eyesight of somebody to prove that I'm not a sinner. I don't give a damn what you think I'm doing. Because Yahuwah see, and that's all that matters. And I tell y'all, I said that for y'all to know that, so that if you know that you standing on this man's word, that you standing on the rock, that you standing on Kadash, and you standing on faith, you don't need to prove none of these niggas about you not sinning. So what? Why you can't? I'm not proving that to you, bro. I said what I said. Because if I said I'm not sinning and I am sinning, I ought to go to hell then. How about that? I ought to go to hell then for lying on this man. Because this man said, if I'm born of the word and the word is sinless, I'm going to be sinful, but I'm born of it. Come on, my nigga. You expect me to go for that? You know what I keep telling y'all that people want you to make yourself less than for them to feel better about their sin. Stop doing it. If you know you standing on that man's word, then let that be what it is. I said what I said. That man said, take up your stake daily and follow him. And I picked it up and I follow him. And I ain't worried about if I'm going to sin tomorrow. I'm just focusing on not sinning today. That's it. Because today is the only day I can control. So I can't worry about tomorrow, next week, or next month. But all I know is I ain't sinning today. And y'all willing, I won't be sinning tomorrow. Or the next day, or the next day. So that I can be able to stand and say the same thing Paul said. I finished my course. I fought the fight of faith. And there's a crown laid up for me in heaven. For all those that love him, I can take my leave. You know what I'm talking about? I can take my leave. You know, we've been on that. So you know what I'm talking about? I wasn't a part of that conversation because, man, I ain't going to lie to you. You know how some people be like, man, this stuff draining me. I ain't never felt like that in my life. Until I started listening to them niggas on Clubhouse, where I could feel that oh no, this is just not good for my spirit. I got to go. I can't keep listening to you niggas. This junk is making me mad. You know what I'm saying? Because them niggas will be mad at me. Bro, it's not hard to not sin, brother. It's not hard not to sin, brother. Sin is a choice. You choose to sin, brother. You choose to sin. So you telling me I can't choose not to? So you mean to tell me I can't exert no self-discipline? You can't keep the law. This man said there's more laws in the new covenant than it is in the old. What about the showbread? He said you can't get no showbread. Who thinking about showbread? I don't even care about that. Why are we even talking about that? Because when he told you to write his laws on the tables of your heart, you think he was talking about showbread? That was a Levitical instruction. That wasn't even for the people. We ain't got no temple to go to. So this man said on the Sabbath day, he told you to go to the temple. No, he didn't. So how we going to keep it? Nowhere in your law did he say you got to go to the temple to keep the Sabbath. It's not written in there. He said have a Kadash gathering. Have a set-apart assembly and a gathering. That's why Mashiach said when 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I'm in the midst. That's why he said I'll make a sanctuary for you in all the places that you be scattered. Because it was never about the building. It was about the gathering of the people to esteem the name of Yahuwah. This man was said he talking about the Sabbath. But my God, don't never rest. Well, the Sabbath ain't for Yahuwah. The Sabbath is for man. I have a complication. It's like this here. It's like we find it. Let me tell y'all something, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was telling Civic this earlier, right? There's no disrespect to anybody who's done this. I'm not saying this to be disrespectful to y'all. I'm speaking for me. Let me say this again. I want to clarify this here because I don't want anybody to be offended by this here. And I know you know I don't care about offending people, but this is something that might offend somebody. And I don't want to make somebody believe that they were doing something that was less than manly, or whatever the case may be, by what I'm about to say. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not getting no form, taking it to no man, talking about you got to let me keep the Sabbath. I'm going to look you dead in your face, and I'm going to tell you I ain't coming. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not coming. And I don't give a damn what you got to say about it. I'm not talking about it. I'm not negotiating about it. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not bringing you nothing. I'm not asking nobody for permission to serve my God. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I don't care if you firing me. I don't care what you do. You know why? Because Yahuwah say he showed mercy to thousands and that love him and keep his commandment. That's what his law say. So I don't need you to do nothing for me. Because he say our help come from heaven. So I don't need to bring you no form talking about I keep the Sabbath, so you got to let me keep it. You ain't got to let me do nothing. I'm going to keep it. The hell you mean? Last time I checked, nigga, I'm a man, bro. I looked you in the face as a man, and I told you what type of time I'm on. See, that's the beauty of you. See, you knew what he was doing. I can't work for nobody, because I promise to you. I told Sylvia that earlier now. Nigga, I was down bad. You understand me? Down bad. Dude offered me a job to wash dishes at the ale house because I was cleaning at the ale house. You know what I'm talking about? I say, bet. I say, hey, I can't work Friday nights, though. I can't work Friday night and Saturday night. How you gonna tell me what day you ain't gonna work? I said, let me tell you again, let me slow it down for you if you ain't catch it. I can't work Friday night and Saturday night. I keep the Sabbath. I will not do it. You can't tell me what days you're gonna work. You ain't gonna have that job. And the job I ain't gonna have because I told you what it was, my nigga. This is not negotiable. This is not negotiable. This is not a conversation we having as if this is an option for you. Then I'm talking to nigga. I don't care if I'm broke, nigga. I said what I said, my nigga. I'm a man, bro. I don't know who the hell you think you talking to. Nigga, you can take that money and that job and stick it straight up your rectum, my nigga. Because you're not finna dictate to me that I serve my God. No man on earth gonna do it. Well, I'm gonna serve Yahuwah regardless. I don't care what you say, and I don't care what you do. I don't care if you kill me. I don't care if you put me in jail. I don't care if you take everything I got. I don't care what. I'm gonna serve you. Can't no man. I feel like how Dame Dad felt on that skit on Reasonable Doubt. He talking about, yeah, man. He says plenty of money out here, man. But he say, man. He say, but man, the only nigga getting out here money is Jay-Z. He say, who? The rapper nigga? They in my lifetime, nigga? Ain't no rapper telling me I can't get no money. Ain't no man telling me I can't serve you who? None. I'm doing that off the top. When people will come and talk about the COVID exemptions, I'm not taking no damn form. Nobody talking about exempt me from no vaccine. Nigga, I ain't taking it. Well, if you don't take it, you're going to lose your job. Well, nigga, shoot, make a lot of yourself, nigga. Because at the end of the day, I ain't asking a man for permission to do nothing. I'm going to serve my God, and I mean that. And as a man, y'all don't need to be asking nobody for permission to serve your God. At that point, when you doing that, you saying that that man your God, because he got more power to provide for you than your God do. At the end of the day, boy, I know everything that I am and everything that I have is from the hand of Yahuwah. Nigga, you can't do no more, no less than what he allowed. So it's something I would want to say, and it's SMD. That's what I would want to tell you, like a New York nigga tell you. If you know what New York niggas say, you know what they like to say. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I would want to say. Because I don't know who you think you talking to, because I want to be disrespectful as possible. But I'm going to maintain a professional, because I'm going to serve you. Period, point blank. I ain't never been on that fill out. No, I ain't bringing a form to nobody about nothing that pertain to Yahuwah. Ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? You brothers did that or want to do it, I'm not knocking you. I'm not saying you wrong. I ain't saying you a coward. You did what you believe was best for you in that particular moment. I ain't got no problem with it. I'm speaking for me because I'm a different type of individual. You know what I'm saying? It's just some things that I'm not doing at all, under no circumstance. You know what I'm talking about? Because we were talking about that earlier. You know what I'm saying? See, we're working with a dude thought he was taking advantage of him because he asking for the feast days off. Like, I'm not asking for nothing. I'm telling you I'm not going to be here. See, asking meaning that what I do is contingent on your response. Oh, no, I'm not asking you for nothing. I'm not going to be here on this day and this day.
Because I told him that.
I'm telling you, absolutely.
I told him at the day of the interview. So
I'm not going to be here. You know, and I'm telling you this directly and up front because I need you to know that I'm serious. I'm not going to be here. See, sometimes, I'll be honest with y'all, and I'm not speaking for none of you gentlemen because everybody different, but I've noticed in my lifetime that some people know I'm not finna play with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? That they can tell, like, I think he mean what he say. And it's not because I'm walking around looking angry or rough or any of that there, man. It's just they made, when it comes to their word, bro, nah, bro. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. Anything that pertains to Yahuwah, I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. You know what I'm talking about? Salute, bro. It's good to see you, servant, man. I pray everything good on your side, my G. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm not asking you. I'm not asking nobody for the Sabbath off. I'm telling you I'm not going to be there. Whatever you do after that, that's between you and God. But I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm not asking you for nothing. I'm not asking for no Passover off. I'm not asking for no Pentecost off. I'm telling you that I'm not going to be there. You do what you want to after that. Because Yahuwah going to sustain me. That's what he said. If my father and mother forsake me, Yahuwah going to take me up. He said, what I look like, what I do and fear what man can do unto me. What you going to do to me? Fire me? Man, I almost said something. I ain't going to say it. I ain't going to say it. I almost said something. You know what I'm saying? But it's churning here. What's good, brother?
Blessings, bro.
Peace, man. Amen, Mother Shalom.
I wanted to come up and testify, man. Remember a long time ago when that guy that I said that he threatened me and stuff, bro?
Yes, sir.
And I was having thoughts and all that.
Yes, sir.
Man, his somebody in his own family, his auntie or something, got murdered last night.
Sheesh.
That's right. Yeah, bro, got murdered by his own nephew. I think it was her own nephew or something.
Sheesh.
Yeah, man. I was just, like, you pray for your enemies. You pray for people who, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know, bro. And, like, that's why it says that, so we can really be true children of our Father.
Amen.
Heaven,
for
I
sure.
just wanted to say that. Peace and blessings.
Peace, bro. It's good to hear from you, too, man. That's tough right there, boy. You'll never know when Yahuwah bring some pain somebody's way when they done brought pain to somebody else. You don't never know when he gonna bring it. And when Yahuwah bring that pain, he swing that hammer hard. You understand what I'm telling you? I'm talking about 30-pound sledgehammer. You understand? There ain't gonna be no regular hammer. That man hit you with that sledgehammer, boy. I'm trying to tell you, boy. Sledgehammer's knocking walls, boy. He gonna knock your soul in. You dig? You know what I'm saying? But I tell y'all, brothers, that man, because I want you to be firm and resolute, man. The first thing to having that man word written on the tables of your heart to get the health is, boy, you got to stand. You don't ask nobody to serve Yahuwah. You tell them you serving Yahuwah. Y'all ain't got nobody, no business nowhere at any time asking nobody to serve your God. Ever. We don't ask permission to serve our God. We gonna serve. You understand me? We gonna serve. I'm not asking you for nothing. Period. Hell, I look like. Nigga, I'm a man. You know what I'm talking about? A man of Elohim. When I say I'm a man in this instance, I'm talking about, boy, I'm a man of Elohim. I'm a man, the creator of heaven and earth. Yahuwah is his name. Boy, I'm a son of the living God. Boy, what I look like asking you? I asked my daddy. I don't ask you. I asked my father, you want me to move? He say, nah, I sit. He say, get up, I'm gone. He say, speak, words coming out. He say, hold your peace. I won't say a word. But one thing I ain't going to do is ask a man, can I praise Yahuwah? That's what I ain't going to do. I wouldn't care what you're paying. I don't care what I'm going to lose. I'd rather lose man than lose God. I don't care nothing about losing man. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about losing no money. That junk don't mean nothing to me, man. Man, we let this world dictate too much what we got going on because we weaken the heart. You know what I'm saying? You weak in faith. When I say weak in the heart, you weak in faith. You weak in faith. And you want to make that seem like a dirty word. Man, I don't need nothing from these people. Man, these white folks don't do nothing for us. I don't give a damn what they do. Yahuwah would do enough for me. I don't care what they do. I don't need these people to do nothing. Each has said the video when Jason Whitlock was talking about, and this is true, right? Umar was talking about, what has rap done for us? Why do you have an anticipation and an expectation for rappers to build black people? Why we even have that thought? White people don't walk around looking for entertainers to do nothing for them. We the only group of people who do that. You don't realize them niggas? And when I say niggas, I mean, nigga, they come from the same places that we come from. Why would you think that these men would be industrious, visionary, you know what I'm saying, revolutionary type of people? Man, they in this for themselves. You thought they got in this for the betterment of black people? You told yourself that. You wanted to believe that. Don't be mad at them for what you wanted to believe. Make you think Jay-Z wanted to build you a hospital? Like, when did he ever give you an inclination that that was something that he wanted to do? Why you think Kanye West want to build you schools? What made you think he wanted to do that? I'm seeing grown men going back and forth about this nigga Dre dropping the flute album. Why y'all mad? If the nigga wanted to make an album playing the flute, that's his business. This is a 50-year-old man. I wanted to hear him rap. Why you want to hear a 50-year-old nigga rap? But no, the reason why I mentioned that is this here, man. He said acting, matter of fact, is wrestling. Definitely. This is why I mentioned that. This is the sad part of our people as a whole. Niggas don't want to grow up. You want a 48-year-old man to still have the mindset he had as a 28-year-old man. And you couldn't fathom in your mind that his mind had evolved to where he was in a different place. That I don't feel the need to string together similes, metaphors, onomatopoeias, and whatever little poetic device that you want to describe, because my mind is not there. This man literally said, what you want me to rap about, going to get a colonoscopy? The life that, this is what he said, the life that I'm living, it's not equating to me to express myself in this fashion. But I took up a hobby of playing flutes, and I wanted to express myself in this fashion. Now, you know what's funny? The brother, the dude that owned the chicken truck, he shared this here because when I cut it on this morning, just to hear what it sounded like, the first thing came to my mind was, this reminded me of the symphony orchestra when I was a child. You know what I'm saying? And I always enjoyed the symphony orchestra when I was a child. As soon as it went, I heard the music. That's the first thing it reminded me of. And Bo Gunner posted that today. Man, he said, man, this reminded me of the. And I say, bro, I thought the same thing when I heard he say, man. Then I knew I wasn't tripping. Now, some people don't like the symphony orchestra, and that's fine. I do. You know what I'm talking about? So I could appreciate what they were doing. Am I gonna listen to this nigga play this for an hour and a half? No, I ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to be in the mood to want to hear that. You know what I'm talking about? But I understand percussions, you know what I'm talking about, wood instruments. Because like I said, when we was in school, most of y'all went to the Florida Theater to hear the symphony orchestra play. I enjoyed it when I was a child. You know what I'm saying? I like the sounds of the instruments. It intrigued me. You know what I'm talking about? These niggas arguing, this junk is trash. It's not that it's trash. How you gonna call it trash and it's just music? They wanted to hear him rap. You know why they wanted to hear him rap? Because you know what I'm saying? Because you had thoughts in your mind about hearing him rap, and now he's not rapping. Dude say, don't ever say he top 5 ever again. How could you say he's not if he's not rapping? You know what I'm saying? But I mentioned that to the perpetual state of juvenility for Black people. Yeah, I made up a word. So what? My life is over with that. I started doing that when I was 16. I had major success with it. I moved on to a different part of my life. That's what's wrong with Black folks. You don't want to move on. You want to stay young forever. And I ain't talking about that you ain't got to, when I talk about young forever, you want to stay young in the mind forever. What is a 48-year-old man going to rap about? What is he going to rap about? This is why people say that rap is a young man's sport, because the type of things that a 48-year-old man would want to discuss, y'all don't want to hear that.
Why do you think, singers that are older, they don't sing new songs?
No, they sing the songs they've been. Y'all want to do that jump where I showed you earlier, that Charlemagne Gay, when he kept playing it to my hands on your knees, and how he would dance around on that. That's what y'all want to hear. You know what I'm saying? You want to hear drug bars and gun talk. That's why I told you, man, how y'all in the word, that still intrigue you. That means you ain't grown in the mind. That means you feel spiritually immature. If you've been in the word for over 5 years and Megan Thee Stallion get your juices flowing, you ought to slap yourself in the face. If you've been in the word for over 5 years and you can resonate with Drake, the City Girls, you know what I'm talking about? Hell, Soulja Boy for that matter, because that nigga done lost his goddamn mind. You know what I'm talking about? Glorilla, any of these raggedy hoes. We know doggone Sexy Red's an idiot. We ain't got to do that. If you can resonate with any of these people's music on an intimate level, and you've been in the word for 5 years, you spiritually immature. Because that shouldn't resonate with you any longer. Yeah, you might like the beat, and then you just listen to the beat, but after a while, the lyrics should disgust you. You're like, I don't want to hear this. Why I want to hear about a woman talking about how good her coochie is? Why is you telling me that? I didn't want to know that. I don't even want your coochie. If you're a grown woman and you feel like you was a grade A woman because you believe your coochie good, you was a dog face hoe. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't no woman. Because that's not even something a woman say out loud. That ain't nothing a woman would be proud of. I was telling Jimmy that earlier. That woman got 8 kids. I know her coochie good. That don't mean her coochie good. That means she like to have raw sex, sir. That's what that means. Because that's the purpose of having sex, is having children. That's literally the purpose of it. You know, Jimmy say a lot of things. You know, Jimmy get mad at me. He say all these women fat. Well, they around here looking like bowling balls. What you expect? You feel like because she got a little bit of booty on her, that means she thick. That woman obese. This woman 222 pounds. Man, I told this nigga going, I said, man, leave that woman alone to get in this damn truck. You around here looking at this woman, she got doggone lunch lady triceps. Talking about that woman thick. That woman got diabetes. Talking about, leave that woman alone to get in here so we can go. You know I ain't lying. I do them like that all the time. Them like I said, man, get out there, man, get in this car. Get in this car, man. What's wrong with you? It's like I said, I've been told you that, man. When I heard Farrakhan say this when I was younger, man, he ain't tell no lie, man. Black people are the only nationality of people that pick your spouse from the waist down. All you concerned with is sexuality and how much money a nigga gonna spend on you. You're a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? You're a prostitute. You're not a lady. You think because you ain't on the blade selling that monkey that you're not a prostitute. You got the mind of a prostitute because you're going to go to the highest bidder. And the only thing that you're going to give exchange in return is sexual thrills. And I told you, and stop talking about you finna nurture a grown man. You can't nurture me. That was my mama's job. If this grown rusty nigga need to be nurtured, you ain't got yourself nothing. I need a woman who gonna nurture me. Nigga, you 35. You need nurturing? Where your mama at? Let me see if she did her job. Because if she did her job, you just a goofy. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't none of you grown men ought to be walking around here talking about you need some nurturing. Nurturing for what? The only person ought to be nurturing in you is Yahuwah. If you need a woman to nurture you, you don't need no woman. You need Yahuwah and a psychiatrist. Straight up. You know what I'm talking about? Because I ain't finna tell you all this other stuff and coddle you niggas like the rest of these goofy niggas preaching the word in and all this other stuff because you niggas want to play victim and wallow in your pain and your suffering. Get your goofy behind up and be a goddamn man. Stop being a pussy all your life. God damn, nigga. How long you gonna wallow in that junk, man? Suck it up, bro. Pause. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down, man. Okay, you got pain, something happened to you. Man, handle that and work that out and grow past it, man. You gonna stay there? That's not what men do, bro. I'm not telling you just to push it away like it didn't happen. Notice what I said. Handle that and grow past it. But you can't stay there. You can't stay there. It's gonna be detrimental to your entire life and everyone who you come in contact with. You cannot claim to be a man and want to be a victim. You can't be a man. I was talking about everybody ain't got no childhood trauma. I get tired of these goofy niggas. Why everybody gotta have trauma? What happened to you niggas that everybody got childhood trauma? Did he talk about we got slave trauma? You ain't got no slave trauma. You wasn't no slave. You ain't never seen no slave. The closest you seen a slave was on Roots. Amistad. You ain't never seen no slave, bro. You ain't come up in no Jim Crow. You ain't lived through that. You niggas was playing Super Nintendo. What you know about some slavery? You were playing a PlayStation. Now, if you said oppression, I could give you that. And some of y'all ain't never been oppressed. Not directly. Some of y'all ain't never experienced racism directly. See, I'm not saying that these things don't occur to our people on a mass scale, but most of y'all ain't never experienced that in your personal life. Most of y'all ain't never experienced that in your personal life, and you walk around here talking about you got some trauma that you ain't experienced. You ain't watch your mama get hung from no tree and her stomach get beat out till the fetus fall out. You didn't see that. You ain't watched nobody feed your baby to no alligator. You didn't see that. You didn't watch your daddy get hung and burned alive. You didn't witness that. You ain't witnessed nobody getting sprayed with water hoses. You ain't witnessed nobody. I'm talking about with your eyes, nigga, not on no TV. Not on no YouTube documentary. You ain't watched nobody get no Rottweiler sick on them. You weren't there on Axe Handle Saturday. You didn't experience that. If nobody would have ever told you it happened, you would have had no idea it occurred.
I feel like, of course, it's relevant, but it's relevant. But if Jewish people can get over Holocaust and still be successful, you need to get over that.
You know what I'm saying? I know it happened to you. I know you didn't like it. I know it make you upset. What she just said is if the Jewish people could get over their fake Holocaust and be successful, then you could too. The reason why you can't get to where you want to be is because you want to wallow in your victimhood. You have to take the pain from what they did to you and use it as fuel to overcome their treacherous behavior. That's what you have. If you don't use it as fuel, then you're going to be defined by it. It'll always drag you down, and you'll really just use that as a crutch and an excuse for your failure and your incompetence and your lack of output.
Even in the 20s and 30s, black people were more successful than black people are now.
Well, I mean, it's seen that way as far as community, they were more successful because they were more around each other. As far as wealth is concerned, you have more wealth now, but you don't have the bond with the people. You know what I'm saying? And the family is fractured. See, that's the difference in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, is that you had to be around each other because the white folks ain't want you around them. So therefore, you had a closer community, and therefore and the family was intact. See, now you got more resources, but you're fractured as a community, and the family ain't intact.
That's what Dr. King said, that integration was the worst thing that happened to us.
Well, I mean, that's what they asked for. But, you know, the integration was bad. You know what I'm talking about? But what made it worse is that you notice that the key component was the family got fractured. Once the family fractured, the resources mean nothing. And then as Pop once put it, you know, currency means nothing if you still ain't free. So no matter how much money we can make, no matter how much we could build, no matter how much you could possess, it doesn't mean anything if you ain't free. So if you're still mired in sin and you're still under the oppression of your enemies by reason of sin, then the currency means nothing. You know what I'm talking about? But see, we don't understand as a people that the real wealth is in the family, which is why we were talking about what that Proverbs 31 woman was doing, because that's where the real wealth comes from. If you think the real wealth comes from a man paying for everything, then you have a misconstrued idea of what life is about. You know what I'm saying? You just got it misconstrued. And you only got it misconstrued because you was taught wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because your people, all people in America, you're taught consumerism. So you think everything is about what can be bought. This is why Yahushua told you take heed and beware of covetousness, because a man's life does not consist in the abundance of things that he possesses. Your life don't consist of that, because all those things will pass away, but the word of Yahuwah is forever. You know what I'm saying? So you have to remember that. See, we done forgot these things. You get far away from these things because that's why he told you, because these are the things that the Gentiles see. So you're seeking after what sinners seek after, and then you think that you're going to serve two masters because you're going to hate one and cleave to the other. And you cleave in the wealth. You cleave in the status. And you know what the word part is? The women want to boast and brag to make other women feel bad who ain't got no man. Because that's all really what you're doing. There was a lady asked me today, they were talking about somebody, they said they had been married, they had been together for 12 years, but they weren't married. And they say, 12 years and you ain't married? I say, so a marriage license will make them more married than what they are now? If they've been living together for 12 years, raising children, and this, that, there, and the third, a marriage license gonna make them more married. She said, well, if there's a problem with marriage, I said, baby, I ain't got no problem with marriage, because I don't care if you get a marriage license or if you don't get one. I personally don't care. That's none of my business because these people outside the house, so it don't matter. But my question was, and they didn't have a retort for that. So what about a marriage license would make them more married? That if somebody saw them and they did not know that they didn't have one, would they look at him and say, oh, so that's your husband? So if you see their interaction and you say, boy, that's a good husband and that's a good wife, you mean to tell me that the marriage license was going to make that more valid? As I've told you plenty of times before, I don't have a problem with a marriage license. What I have a problem is that you talk about white supremacy and then turn around and say, well, if you don't have a marriage license for Mr. Charlie, your relationship ain't valid. You a hypocrite. You really want the validation of Mr. Charlie. Because you know what marriage license was created for? To stop niggas from marrying white folks. They're done it. Look at it historically, in America anyway. And for you to maintain to your religious customs and beliefs. So if you claim to be a Christian, they wanted you to have a marriage license so they could hold you to what the words say. And to make sure that you couldn't marry a nigga. And then, of course, after 1933, they monetized them. You know what I'm talking about? Because most people didn't get a marriage license. They wrote it in the family Bible. That was the covenant. And y'all married and you went about your life. But of course, we know in America, most women want a marriage license because it gives them a bit of leverage and power over that man. And they want Mr. Charlie's stamp of approval, which shows you how they really view Mr. Charlie. You know what I'm talking about? And again, this is not advocating for or against a marriage license. I don't care what you do. When I say I don't care what you do, meaning if you don't believe in a marriage license and you want to create a covenant between you and your woman to be married, and that's what you want, I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about you and try to talk you out of that. If that's what you want, bro, that's what you want. You know what I'm talking about? If you like, hey, man, y'all need to get a marriage license. If that's what you own, and that's, see, we get caught up on wanting to fuss, fight, and argue with people about what they own, bro. If that's what they own, that's what they own. If this is what we own, this is what we own. Leave them people alone. Leave the people alone. Niggas feel like I got to convince you to see it this way. All right, bro. If you say I don't believe in marriage license, I'm gonna ask you why. Woo, woo, woo. Well, how you do it? Oh, we did it like this. Don't be like what a nigga told me a nigga did, talking about you swore before heaven and earth standing outside. Now, lady, don't you go for that. Don't you go for that. You know what I'm talking about? You got to have a covenant. It's got to be written down somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? Because somebody was saying something about if you common law wife, you don't get, if anything you worry about being married is you getting financial recompense from that man, you don't love that man. If the only reason why you want to get legally married so you can be able to have access to his money, you a scallywag. And I don't care if you get offended by it. That's what you is. If that's what your mind, if I'm not legally married, I can't get his pension, his Social Security, or if I get divorced, I don't get nothing. You won't love that man. Why your mind even went to that? Why your mind even went? Why was that even on your mind? Money? That's the first thing you think about? You don't love that man. You're a scallywag. Straight up and down. Straight up and down. You didn't care about that man. You care about what you could get from that man. That ain't good. That ain't good. See, I ain't talking about you want that man to take care of you. Because every woman wants a man to take care of. I ain't knocking you for that. You're not wrong for that, babe. You're not wrong for that at all. But to sit back and think about, I only want this marriage license. How you think about when a nigga's 60 and you 23? You think about 37 years down the line about a pension? Who the hell think about Social Security in their 20s? I ain't gonna be able to get a Social Security check. Damn, oh, you waiting for me to die, ain't you? That's what somebody said. If you ain't married, they ain't gonna put you on your beneficiary for your life insurance. They gonna put their mama. Hell, if you was married, they can still put their mama. If they were gonna put their mama, they were gonna put their mama. Being married ain't gonna change that. That's tough if you got an old lady and you put your mama there. I don't know a man walking that'll have a life insurance policy and be with a woman and have his mama on there instead of his woman. I ain't never heard no man say that. Oh yeah, my life insurance policy in my mama name. Don't you got an old lady? Yeah. Don't you got kids? Nigga, at least gonna put the kids on there. Mama?
My mama head on that.
That's a mama's boy. One thing, man, we got to get out of here, man. It's 11 o'clock. But I want to tell you something what that goofy nigga Yada said, man, that just had me utterly disgusted. You know what I'm talking about? You know, y'all been seeing that clip when he was talking to the dude about going 50-50 with his wife. This nigga Yada's a buster. I'm going to tell you why he a buster. The dude say, your wife work? He was like, yeah. Y'all go 50-50? I said, I bet she disrespect you. He said, my woman don't never disrespect me. He said, I bet she loud talking. He was like, no, she don't never loud talking. You know what I'm talking about? Let me see. That boy said she wouldn't get enough. I mean, look here, right? I'm be honest with you. If a man wanted you to have something, he'll put stuff in place for you to get it. If he wanted you to have it. Because if a man didn't do it and you were married, that means he didn't want you to get it. It wasn't important to him to make sure that was taken care of. Because a man can set up trust. You can set up all type of things, whether you legally married or not, to make sure your resources get to the people who you wanted to get to. You know what I'm talking about? That's to avoid probate and everything. Like if you wanted that woman to get it, and you was a conscientious man and aware of these things, then you would do. Most people don't even understand assets protection and all that type of thing to leave it to them whether they married or not. And just because you married does not necessarily mean that you're going to have automatic access to his resources. That's a common misconception. Oh, that married, I'm going to have access to this. Depending on how he got his affair set up, that's not guaranteed. You know what I'm talking about? That's not guaranteed. That's a misnomer that people who have never been through probate and things of that nature tell you because they don't know what the hell they talking about. But if a man wants you to have something, best believe if he wanted you to have it and he knew how to go about it, you would get it. Unless he died and he didn't have an opportunity to get that done. But I'm gonna be honest with you, most people don't die to leave enough to nobody anyway. You know what I'm talking about? But hold on. Yeah, he said he probably would cry to me. He said, yeah, definitely, man. Listen, right? He told him, man, that man say, I bet she say she cook. He said, yeah. She clean? You like, yeah. He said, I bet if I talk to her, she'll cry. The reason why the nigga said that is because you got to pay your woman to do all these. If you didn't pay, you wouldn't do it. He wouldn't understand that there's a woman who love a nigga enough to where she don't look at it like it's a big deal that I cook and clean the house and help him with the bill because I love this man. He don't have to pay for me to stay because I love him. A lot of dudes don't know that. I was telling the girl I went to school with it because she said some junk about dudes who always say women don't buy this for men and this, that, there, and the third. And she thought it usually meant that men treat the woman wrong. I say, nah, she probably don't like him. She said, I never thought about it like that. She said, you know what? I've been the woman that men don't like. Because I'm like, if a woman like you, she don't mind doing nothing for you, man. You dealing with women who don't like you. So no, she not going to buy you nothing. No, she ain't going to want to take you out because she don't like you. You know what I'm talking about? Because I've seen and known women who, if they like you, they'll look out for you. She got no problem with it. Women are women selfish with money? Sure. But they're even more selfish with money than with niggas they don't like. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you cool, but I don't like that nigga. So no, I'm not buying him nothing. You know what I'm talking about? But as this nigga was talking, he telling the nigga this and telling the nigga that. But this goofy nigga said, you not a man. You only defined to be a man by a woman. He said, you got men who are generals. And he basically said, if you doing anything as a man and women ain't around, then you not a man. Don't listen to nobody like that. Because your manhood is not defined by a woman. A woman can never define your manhood. A woman's presence can't define your manhood. And like I said, when this nigga was asking this dude this here, and he was like, man, my old lady don't raise her voice at me. Do you understand that women from just 2-3 generations did exactly what this man say his old lady was doing? But you got dudes that, y'all got to understand something, man. This is what you ladies don't really be understanding. It's dudes who couldn't get women until they got money. So when they get money, they think it's their duty to give this woman all their money because without it, they wouldn't have her. That's something that you ladies don't understand because you think every dude just got a cavalcade of women. Boy, it's a lot of dudes, man. If they ain't had no money, they wouldn't have no chicks. That's the only reason them niggas lames, they cornballs, they goofies. Like straight up, it is a lot of dudes. Johnny Ghost know what I'm talking about. Each know what I'm talking about. Niggas who been living, they know what I'm talking about. And been around dudes that be like, man, I knew this nigga when he had no money, he ain't had no hoes. Now he got money, he think the women with him because he handsome. These women don't like you for you, bro. And you tricking off. And you thinking you doing something. Yeah, man, I do all this for my lady. You doing it because you don't have no other choice. I tell you that, gentlemen, don't never lead with your wallet, man. Don't never do it. Don't be no trick, man. Get that woman what she earned. She earned it, you give it to her. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. If it's in your power to do it, she playing her position, she ought to do it. She earned it. But if you giving it to her because she opened her legs or because you think she cute, you a sucker. Yahuwah certainly don't approve. I can tell you that. That's not no way to move, man. It really ain't. It's going to be detrimental to you. Why would you want to do something to damage yourself as a man? You shouldn't be measuring yourself how women see you. You should see when these dudes say you're not a man unless you married and you're not a man unless a woman around, these niggas are godless. You can't listen to them. You determine your manhood by how you operate with Yahuwah, not with no woman. Your manhood is not determined by how you interact with a woman. Your manhood is determined how you serve the Almighty Elohim. Yahuwah of hosts is his name. That's what your manhood defined by. Because you got to be a man. Before you a husband, guess what you are? A man. Before you a father, guess what you are? A man. So those things don't define you. Those are the roles of manhood. You understand what I'm telling you? That's a part of manhood. You got these goofy beta male scent mangina, sucker, duck, mamas, boys, tender dick, sweet booty niggas. Trying to tell you what it is to be a man, but they always remove the key component of manhood, and that's Yahuwah Elohim. That's Yahuwah Elohim. You let your manhood get strengthened in Yahuwah. A woman can't strengthen your manhood. How's she gonna do it? Let me see what Jay said. He said, yeah, dude, a clown. He said, I couldn't believe he was saying dog was not a man. And he kept trying to be calm and act. He definitely was trying to tell Buddy he ain't a man. Now, is making $14 an hour ideal for a man? No. But you know why it's so bad in this society for a man to think a woman couldn't love a man because he make $14 an hour? If that woman know that this man get up every day and he maximizing his ability and she love him, she don't care that he make $14 an hour. And she don't care that she kicking in and she don't care about none of that because she love that man. But see, most people don't understand that because you don't love that man. And you have people think, can no woman go through all that? No, it's the women y'all get one. You know how I know that a woman could do that? Because women love niggas who ain't got nothing. So you're not going to sit back and tell. I know women who done took care of a nigga who ain't had no job, and she love that nigga. You understand me? She ain't had no job, and she loved it. Now, but her motivations for dealing with him may be different. They may have had, but she loved that man, though, and did everything that was required of her because she loved that man. What it come down to is y'all dealing with people who don't love you and who don't like you. That's your fault. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure, look here, man, if you know a woman only wants you for your money, then make sure she earn what you give her. Okay, if you like, man, she only want me for what I can do for her. Well, then make sure she earn what you do for her then. Because that's the best way for her to not come around if she don't want to be around. Yeah, man, don't be falling for them dudes, man. That jump pissed me off, man, because dudes really be taking Yahuwah out to play, man. You can never take Yahuwah out to play. Don't let nobody tell you your manhood is contingent on you having a wife. Your manhood is contingent on do you believe, trust, and serve the living Elohim in the faith of Yahushua HaMashiach, being sanctified by the faith that is in him, that you can receive a pure inheritance in Shamayim. That's what it's about. Because he told you to gird up your loins and show yourself a man. He didn't tell you to show yourself a man by getting a wife. The wife was a gift to the man so he wouldn't be alone, not the manifestation of his manhood, because you was made in the image of Elohim before the woman was even there. So if you made in the image of Elohim before the woman was even there, that means your manhood was set because Yahuwah made you upright. So if Yahuwah made you upright, he made you to be a man. All you got to do is show yourself to be one by serving him in Ruach and in truth. Thus, let's stop listening to these goofy sinners out here, man. And if you offended by what I said, the unsubscribe button is for free, nigga. Click it. Because I stand on that. I don't care who don't like it. I ain't teaching my son that. I ain't teaching none of these young men that. And I ain't going to teach their sons that. So I ain't teaching that for what? Our manhood is set forth in the rock, nigga. What you mean? We honor him. Ain't that what a record label called? So we can get life over death. Ain't that what a record label called? Because we on a war path. That's what a record label called, ain't it? That's what we on. Because we men. That's what the book say to be. That's what we going to be. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, man. Hallelujah for Yahushua in the word, man. I appreciate y'all. We coming for these niggas like this nigga on my hat, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Walking slow too, nigga. You gonna hit it. Swing that machete on you, niggas. Cut your whole head off, nigga. Maybe you'll come back righteous after we do it. Man, let Yahuwah be esteemed, man. It's always, praise Yahuwah, bro. Man, praise Yahuwah. You understand me? All the way around the board, because it's about Yahuwah. It's always about Yahuwah. It's always going to be about Yahuwah. It can't never be nothing but about Yahuwah. Because when it's about Yahuwah, you're going to be the best version of yourself because you'll be growing day by day in Yahuwah till it's time for you to take your rest. And as long as you focus on Yahuwah and perfecting yourself in Yahuwah and walking in Yahuwah image and being conformed to the image of his son, how you going to go wrong, my G? Amen, bro. Praise Yahuwah, man. You'll never go wrong. As the book say, man, by the grace that Allah he give me and the strength he give me, amen, brother Marcus, man. You know what I'm saying? Love you too, bro. Every time I step on here, man, my job is to make sure that your faith and hope might be in Yahuwah. That's what the book say. Your faith and hope need to be in Yahuwah. Every time we come on here, it's to give you a word from him, out of his word, to give you strength that your faith and hope might be in him, that you might serve him with your whole mind, heart, and soul. That's it. And that each and every one of us, man, that praise and esteem. See, if anything that I could do or say, like Paul wrote, man, would cause to esteem, to redound unto Yahuwah, that's a gift from God. See, that's not nothing about me. If it's something that I could say, do, preach, whatever the case may be, that calls somebody to say, thank Elohim, praise Yahuwah, that's an unspeakable gift, like Paul put it, because that means he's given a man or even a woman, depending on what it is she's doing, the ability to do something that the praise go to Yahuwah. That's a beautiful thing, because that means the person who's supposed to be esteemed is being esteemed. The person who's supposed to be honored is being honored. The person who's supposed to be praised is being praised, which means that means one more person can draw closer to him that ain't no breach in the spirit for no perverse and crooked words. You know what I'm saying? That wholesome words can be given, that it can be able to get this person that tree of life so they can get that healing, because that's what we after. We all want to be healed. But we ain't talking about that healing, that childhood trauma stuff all these niggas talking about. We talking about healing from the flesh, healing from the world. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's what we talking. We ain't talking about that goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let Yahuwah be esteemed in all things, man. Praise his mighty and Kadash, man. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Y'all willing, man. 2:15 tomorrow. We be back at it. You know what I'm saying? If you're late, you ain't great. You know what I'm talking about? So make sure you're on point and you know what it is. Y'all willing, man. I'll catch you on the next one.